Answer the Call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Big companies are turning away from their commitments to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a lot of people credit conservative activists like Robbie Starbuck for starting that trend. With big companies like Ford, Boeing, and now McDonald's stepping back from or scrapping DEI-related initiatives altogether. But can you credit all of this just to Robbie Starbuck? Bloomberg Equality reporter Jeff Green doesn't think so.
Either Robbie Starbuck is the luckiest man on the planet, or a lot of companies were just kind of waiting for an opportunity to roll this stuff back. Corporations are looking for ways to compromise and to avoid some of this entanglement. It is not at all the atmosphere we had in 2020 when companies basically said we can't do enough to fix this inequity.
The anti-DEI wave has coincided with a slide in the number of black workers at big companies. That's according to exclusive analysis from Bloomberg News. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store at Lowes.com for more details and qualifying items.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the hosts and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You're not put here to be a white man's footstool. You're put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Thursday, January 16th, 2025. When presidents and soon-to-be ex-presidents share information with you, particularly if it is the last information they are likely to share with you as president, we need to heed their warnings. Unfortunately, too many of us deem a president's credibility based on how well we like them, if they are affiliated with our chosen political party, if we voted for them. If all of those boxes check, then we deem the words of that president or soon-to-be ex-president as at least reasonably credible. I wish that we would stop doing that, because when presidents give their farewell addresses, they are communicating information that they know is going to live on in the annals of history. Presidents also are exposed to information that the American people are not at all privy to, because we can't be told certain things, because we'll freak out, we'll panic, or we'll start to rebel. So there's certain things you must keep from the American people. That is why national security should be of top priority, because certain information simply cannot get out. It can't get out to us, and it also shouldn't get out to any of our adversaries. So when presidents who are exposed to security briefings and CIA intelligence and all sorts of documents and dossiers from the FBI and the national intelligence agencies, they form a perspective that can evade most Americans' understanding, okay? Joe Biden gave a warning last night, and I want us to heed it. This is regardless of whether you like him, you voted for him, your personal feelings on the man do not matter. He is exposed to information that we are not. And he has seen things in a very, very long view of history that most of us also have not. He defied the odds. He was 29 years old when he won his U.S. Senate race. He was 30 years old when he was sworn in, meaning he was right at the legal limit in order to take that office. And he stayed in public life until basically the end of his life. And so the perspective that he has had and the amount of changes that he has seen in the last 50 years, just that he has been in office, have been monumental. And I think for that, the man deserves at least a modicum of respect. But he said something last night that sent a chill down my spine, and I think it sent a chill down his spine as well. And he referenced something that a previous president also warned us about. There was a term that America had never heard before. Not before 1961, when then President Dwight D. Eisenhower gave his farewell address to the nation. He wanted us to be mindful of some new phenomenon called the military-industrial complex. And that is when the corporate powers of the defense industry start to influence American policy. And then you will arrive at a place where we will have unlimited war and war for profit, because the defense industry does not care who gets maimed, killed, harmed, does not care if cities get destroyed. It does not care. It is in it for profit. And Eisenhower warned against this. You have to fight against these large corporate interests in the defense industry before they take over the Pentagon. Well, we did not heed that warning. And now we are living in a cycle of endless war and war for profit, because you will have American companies that will make weapons of war for the American arsenal and also sometimes for our foreign adversaries. Imagine that. One company making missiles for two countries at war. Both of those countries have missiles aimed at one another, all produced by the same company that is out to make profit. And a lot of times these companies are publicly traded. You may own stock in war, and as long as your stock portfolio was doing well, and if your 401k looks good, and if you can retire on time, most people don't care. You can fool the American people with money. You can get us to ignore things that are harmful. You can get us to turn a blind eye to our own sense of decency and morality for money. How do I know? Because I've seen it. And maybe to some extent, I may have participated in it too. But these warnings their presidents heed when they're at the very end of their career. Joe Biden ain't got nothing to lose. This is his last weekend of being president. I was thinking about that. What do you do on your last weekend of being president? Right? Do you just post a bunch of selfies? Felt cute, might delete later. Like, what do? Do you just start a small war just because you can? Do you make life more miserable for the person that is going to succeed you? Like, what do you do when it's your last weekend as president? I can say this is a feeling that I don't know anything about because I've never been president before. But this warning that Dwight Eisenhower gave us in 1961 is one that we did not heed. And because we did not heed that warning, we are living in it now. And dare I say, it is a miserable existence to be in, where the Pentagon can lose tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, and we don't even question where it goes. Some time ago, I learned about remember the Koch brothers? When everybody used to be real mad at the Koch brothers all the time because they were Republicans and rich and funding Scott Walker and funding things that I think were the precursor to the oligarchy that we see right now. And Joe Biden did use the term oligarchy, which is not something I would ever think I would hear an American president say about our country. Those are words that are used to describe enemies of the state. But he talked about it in reference to our country, and Joe Biden has no reason to lie. You're not going to vote for him again. He likely will completely shrink from public life, even though he says he's not going to. Biden is done. He's seen enough. He's done enough over the last 50 years. He selected Kamala Harris, then turned the keys over to her. She lost the election, and Donald Trump is getting elected again. He is literally right back where he started in 2020, so I think he's done. And so he has no reason to lie. This might have been the most honest we have ever seen Joe Biden. And he referenced what Dwight Eisenhower said in 1961, talking about this tech industrial complex right now. And I'm going to further develop this argument later on in the program because I want people to understand this, because I think right now we are afraid of the wrong things in this country. We have all this speculation of what Trump might do, and I know there's a lot of conversation around immigration and is Trump going to deport all of the people? We are afraid of the wrong things. We should be afraid of the people that have all of your data, all of your information, the places where we do most of our retail shopping that make tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars. Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, formerly Facebook, which several billion people use on a daily basis, have all of our information. And then Mark Zuckerberg just said that he's going to get rid of fact checking on his own platform. No more fact checking. So all of the lies and the manipulations that I believe had an influence on the 2016 presidential election, all of that is back. Elon Musk, who has tens of billions of dollars of government contracts at stake, is not only going to be at the damn inauguration, he is going to have an office in the White House. That is what we need to be afraid of. And guess what I found out this morning? The CEO of TikTok, an enemy of the state, because TikTok is owned by a company called ByteDance. By law, everything that the company ByteDance does, it has to do in favor of the Chinese government, and they have to turn over any and all information and all data to the Chinese government. TikTok and its owners, and I know y'all don't want to believe this because you like TikTok and you think it's sweet and you think it's cute, but the reference I made the other day, having a TikTok account is like having all of the contents in your phone. Everything, your pictures, your messages, all of your passwords turned over to your worst enemy. That's what TikTok is. But if Americans can have fun and do stupid dances, then we don't care that they have all of our data. Donald Trump is lining up literally the most powerful people on planet Earth, and he is making them a part of his administration, and he's doing it right in your face. And if you think that you and your family are going to benefit from this, you get nothing unless your last name is Trump, Musk, Bezos, or Zuckerberg. And if that's not your last name, you get nothing, because everything they're going to do is going to be at our expense. The government is supposed to operate in a way that protects us from those people because they know no bounds. They will stop at nothing. They will take your data. They will sell your data. They will lie to you. They will manipulate you. They will raise prices on you in a second so they can get richer and even more untouchable. The government, the federal government, is supposed to be our protection from those people. We've busted up monopolies and trusts for the duration of this republic. The Standard Oil Trust, Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, that is what we're supposed to do. You protect the vulnerable American people from these corporate oligarchs because they will take everything from us. There's no obligation for those people to save you money. Oligarchs and people that control the corporate infrastructure of this country, they don't care if you're broke. They don't care if there's a homelessness crisis in your city. They don't care. Well, the federal government is supposed to make them care. The federal government passes laws and protects the American people from, in some cases, evildoers that are ruled by money and a sense of immorality. They are now a part of this next administration. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what we should be afraid of, but for some reason, we're not. There was a warning that we did not heed. We were given a warning in 1961 about the military-industrial complex. We didn't listen. We allowed this melding and this meshing of corporate America with the military and endless wars. And this is exactly what we have. I want you guys to listen to something.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence. You know, his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote. 6 decades later, I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech-industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit. We must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy from the abuse of power.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee on January 20th for the 28th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 8 a.m. Come together as a community to reflect on Dr. King's powerful legacy, celebrate the creativity of our youth, and be inspired by moving performances and speakers. This will be a day of inspiration, connection, and service, one you won't want to miss. For more information, visit ymcamke.org/MLK. Can't wait to see you there.
This is your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 101.7 The Truth.
The City Conference gave us some incredible games so far this week. In the boys' gold division, we had a matchup between two MPS rivals as the Bradley Tech Trojans traveled north to take on the Milwaukee Marshall Eagles. This was a classic matchup on paper, but the game was never in doubt as senior guard Arvell Lockhart scored 24 points, leading the Bradley Tech Trojans to victory, defeating Milwaukee Marshall 83-33. Now to the girls' side of things, the Milwaukee School of Languages Hawks took on their conference rival, the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. The Lady Hawks got out to an early lead, and they never looked back. Led in scoring by senior Amanya Pam Puck Buck, the Hawks defeated the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats 47-28.
This has been your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 101.7 The Truth. MPS proud and MPS strong.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the oncoming coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
President Joe Biden used his farewell address to the nation yesterday to deliver stark warnings about an oligarchy of the ultra-wealthy taking root in the country and a tech industrial complex that is infringing on Americans' rights and the future of our democracy. They tried with the Patriot Act, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to save that for my colleague Ben Jamin about September 11th. But what resulted from September 11th, because Americans were afraid and extremely vulnerable, and we trusted our government to protect us from these evil doers. The government used to do that, but you also got to keep in mind very powerful forces in our government that existed then, September 11, 2001, and they exist now. They're more blatant now, but they've always existed. Rupert Murdoch, the proprietor of Fox News, is an oligarch, but he kind of stayed. Now, he was involved with policy, but he kind of stayed back. The large corporate donors and funders that gave rise to somebody like Rush Limbaugh, they were oligarchs too. But what they would do is they would put their money behind like a person, a personality, an agenda, a program. Now they are in our faces, right in front of us. So you always have to be mindful of those folks. And that is why the federal government needs to be strong and also needs to act in the best interest of the American people. Does it always do that? No, because there's so many different kinds of interests here in America. But at the very least, the federal government is supposed to protect us, the vulnerable people, from forces in which we have zero control, leverage, and latitude. That's all we can ask of the federal government. And they can be partisan when they do it. The Democrats can have one view, the Republicans can have another, but as long as they come together with some kind of compromise that protects the vulnerability of the American people, we usually will be okay. So in a country like ours where we have a lot of freedom of speech, freedom of movement, the right to bear arms, all of the things that we have, Americans can be very dangerous because we sometimes abuse our own freedoms in this country. And so the Patriot Act was communicated to the American people. Well, we have to have these extraordinary tools so we can monitor people who might want to do us harm. The federal government was acting in its best interest on behalf of the American people. So we got to put together this piece of legislation signed by President George W. Bush at the time and passed almost unanimously by Congress. One no vote on these various incarnations of the Patriot Act. And guess who it was? Russ Feingold. There was one vote on the Patriot Act that was 99-1. And everybody yelled and screamed and clutched their pearls and stomped their feet. Russ Feingold, how dare you, you maverick senator from Wisconsin? How dare you vote against the Patriot Act that gives our federal government extraordinary, almost unchecked powers to monitor these terrorists, to see what they're doing, to see where they're going, to monitor their financial transactions and their bank accounts and the infancy of text messages. We can monitor their text messages and their conversations. We have to monitor these people, and the Patriot Act allows us to do that. How dare dare you, Russ Feingold? And Russ basically said, y'all need to read this. Anyone can be considered a terrorist. And if you are considered a terrorist, you can be put on a no-fly list. And most people would say, well, that's good. We don't want the terrorists to fly, because the last time they flew those planes into a building. Don't want terrorists on the airplanes. It's going to allow people in the government to monitor your financial transactions. Well, good. We want to see if there are people that are funding terror, especially other governments. But did you ever think, depending upon who's in office and depending upon what the political climate is in this country, that actual Americans could be considered terrorists? The Patriot Act, along with the National Defense Authorization Act, allows the government, with a very low threshold of who a terrorist is, to monitor us. Now, it was still limited. It monitors our phone calls. If you said certain things, your phone calls would be recorded, all in the name of preventing terrorism. But you got to keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to terrorism, terrorism is more domestic than it is foreign. We do more acts of terror on one another than any country ever could. Every now and again, a country will get away with some stuff, but it's usually, other than the Twin Towers coming down, and we can have a discussion about that September 11th, 2025, when I do my commemoration of that day. We usually go down that rabbit hole. But the kind of panic that ensued after September 11th made Americans so vulnerable and so afraid that we surrendered everything, even our own right to privacy, to the federal government, because we did not want that to happen again. And whatever we had to do, we were going to trust in our government to protect us, not thinking that the government might want to use these extraordinary powers it granted itself to monitor us. So they could look at our text messages and our financial transactions. There was even some data on the Patriot Act allowed for the federal government to monitor people's library records, what books you were checking out from the library. Like if you went and checked out a book on how to build a pipe bomb, of course, there'd be a record of that. But as time went on and our technology got more sophisticated, the tools in the Patriot Act weren't enough. That's not enough detail about the American people. That's not enough data. We need more data, because people ain't going to the library no more. They're on the internet. We have to have access to what they're doing and what they're saying and what they are planning on the internet. Keep in mind, the January 6, 2021 terrorist attack on the U.S. Capitol was planned on what we call the surface internet. There's a surface internet, and then there's the dark web. The dark web, which you need an onion router to get to. I'll do a segment or two on that at some point in the future. That is how your identity is shielded, and you still have access to a different kind of internet that is below the surface. But they planned the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol on the surface internet. So you can plan terrorism right in plain view. But that is what Americans were using the internet for. If you look at Twitter, now X, it's no mistake that Elon Musk bought Twitter, then changed it to X, and he's not even making money on it. He's not. It's not profitable for him. He lost I don't know how many tens of billions of dollars on Twitter, but it don't matter, because he knows what you're saying. He knows what you're talking about. He knows your detailed conversations, has all your pictures, all your uploads, all your files. And then, of course, there's Facebook. Think about the level of detail that we share on a daily basis, and most of it is just benign and boring. But think about the details on a daily basis that we share on social media, especially people that are none the wiser, TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. Imagine if you had the powers of the Patriot Act and you could usurp all of the data, all of the information, all of the conversations, all of the planning, all of the pictures that people are using and sharing on social media. And then what if you had their consumer behavior too? What if you put a cookie on every website so we can follow you everywhere you go? What if we can identify you not by your social security number? What if we could identify you by your IP address? And what if you had all of this information on the American people? Way more information than you could get from the Patriot Act and looking at library records and other antiquated forms of information. That, what if you had everything? And then what if you took all of those people that have made billions, hundreds of billions, if not $1 trillion, and I wouldn't trust your iPhone either, because Apple don't even invent nothing new, and Apple is $1 trillion company. You know what Apple does? And this is why I'll never have an iPhone. And they say they pride themselves on security. Whatever details or information you have in your iPhone, don't worry, the feds can get that too. All Apple does is they sell you on their phones, and then they make you buy stuff from the iStore or whatever that is. I don't even know what it is. You just have to buy their stuff. That's how they make money. But imagine if you had all of this data and all of these corporate CEOs willing to share their data with a sinister administration like the Trump administration. And when I found out yesterday that the CEO of TikTok is being invited to the inauguration to sit on the dais, which is reserved for like former presidents, Donald Trump is showing you in your face that he is building an oligarchy unlike anything we've ever seen, the most powerful people on planet Earth. And here's what's crazy about Facebook that I never got people to understand this part. Facebook is free. It doesn't cost you anything. I can go make a new Facebook account right now during a commercial break and have a new Facebook account. Upload pictures to it, I could post, and it doesn't cost me anything. So you got to think about this. How in the hell is Mark Zuckerberg a multi-billionaire, one of the most powerful people on planet Earth, with a website that's free? Some of it is advertising, because if you want to reach a specific demographic of people, you can buy ads on Facebook and you can target people based upon who you want to see your ads. But more importantly, it is your data, it's your information, it's what you are sharing. Not just on Facebook, but everything in your phone. Do you know that if one organization and one agency had everything you said, even your own private thoughts that you might just put somewhere in your phone that you don't share with anybody, they got that too. That's how you become a billionaire, off of a free website. And Donald Trump has lined up all of these people. Jeff Bezos, who I would argue is probably even more powerful than Mark Zuckerberg is, because that's our consumer behavior in a consumer economy. All of them giving millions of dollars to Donald Trump's inauguration. They barely gave a penny to Joe Biden's inauguration, but it makes sense for these very wealthy, powerful people. The only thing standing in the way of Amazon from having even more power and Facebook from having even more power, and Elon Musk, who's got cryptocurrencies and Tesla and a space company, the only thing that would stop them from becoming even more powerful was the federal government. Guess what? Now they're a part of the federal government. Let's talk to Brian. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Pretty good. Love your show. I would question the effectiveness of the Patriot Act. We've had how many mass shootings since that thing went into effect? If they could know all that information about these people beforehand, why they didn't stop them before they did the mass shooting?
Because there's no interest, there's no impetus to stop. I'm gonna tell you, there's no impetus to stop mass shootings, because that's not looked at as terrorism. You've never heard a mass shooter, school shooters more importantly. You think if the Patriot Act was effective in stopping specific kinds of terrorism like school shooting, you think that they would intervene, but there's no interest in stopping Americans from killing other Americans. They want to make sure that somebody else from another country doesn't fly planes into our buildings. But when Americans kill one another, the government doesn't really care about that.
Exactly. I'm glad you made that distinction, because I was about to make it, but you made it for me. Yeah, because they always come out with a manifesto.
My phone is breaking up on us, unfortunately. I'm sure you had something good to say. The foreign actors are who we are probably most afraid of, I suppose, other than the American people. But school shooters, that's terrorism to me. And they may have a whole bunch of information. They have profiles on all these kids. Last week, I talked about how you can obtain the information that the FBI has on you. And a lot of folks don't know that. You can do a Freedom of Information Request Act to get your FBI file. Or if you know someone has passed away and you can have access to their death certificate, which is public, you can request someone's FBI file. The FBI's got files on all of us. And they'll put these through algorithms where artificial intelligence, I know, is going to be a part of that, and they can determine who is and who is not a terror threat. And if you're going to shoot up a school, they're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just have to let that happen. Because, again, what that does is it keeps the American people in a state of vulnerability and constant fear.
The Truth with Sherwin.
Rick, you all right over there? All right, now. I guess I might as well go to break. Mass shootings, though, are not looked at the same way as, quote-unquote, foreign nationals flying planes into buildings. I do have a special guest coming in, and maybe Rick was just excited because I got a special guest coming in, but I can't tell you who the special guest is. Rick, is that why you push the button? Because you're just really excited? I didn't even tell you who the special guest is.
No, I pressed the button on accident because I'm programming your show.
We don't make mistakes around here, Rick.
Yeah.
We don't. So right now, we are going to take a break. And I think my special guest should be here. Has anybody walked in the producer studio yet, Rick? Has anybody in there with you? They have not walked in yet. Okay, maybe my special guest is somewhere lost in the building, but it's someone that you all know. And maybe it's somebody that you all love as well. So I'm going to try and find my special guest, and hopefully they'll be back with me when I return. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back shortly.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has inspired generations of change leaders, and many more are to come. Let's celebrate his legacy by enjoying incredible speeches by Milwaukee Public Schools students.
When I say ready to listen, you say ready to learn. Ready to listen? Okay, I see that you're ready. Question: what does it mean to work towards a world of peace? Does it mean to just sit around and do nothing, looking off in La La Land? Or does it mean to stay quiet on things that matter the most? Or does it mean to be determined, to persevere, and be a great leader to change the world for the betterment of everyone? I think that's the definition. Dr. King stated that no work is insignificant. All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. Whatever your life's work is, do it well. So therefore, I, Kingston Pearson, will be working towards a world of peace, and I plan on doing it well. In order to have a world of peace, I must speak out on the issue of gun violence. Since when do people feel like they have the right to take someone's life with a gun when they are angry? Really? Who does that? It's getting to the point where people are using guns way too much. What happened to using our voices to communicate peacefully? It's like people don't even communicate anymore. They just pick up a gun and think about shooting someone. I take that back. They don't even think. They just do it. This means that when we have a plan for something that we need to make happen, we have to work peacefully and consistently to accomplish it. Sometimes being peaceful is always not easy, but it is a must. This is my plan to try to make the world a peaceful place to live, and I will do it well.
Marcus Performing Arts Center and We Energies are proud to sponsor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You know I'm no good for doing this. I got the special guest in the studio, and I didn't tell y'all who the special guest was because I wanted to keep it a secret. And man, this is a very special guest. Welcome back, Denise Thomas.
Thank you, Sherwin. Thank you so much. It's great to see you.
Likewise, you look fantastic.
Well, thank you.
What can I attribute that to? This new life that you have beyond the truth?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yes. But I'm here. I'm still here, and I'm actually so appreciative that you're allowing me to underscore what I think has already been announced.
It has.
That's okay, good, because, I don't mind breaking a code or a secret. But yeah, I'm back. Dr. Ken and I launched our first episode, which will be live on Inauguration Day, so on Monday. The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken.
Well, welcome back, Denise.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, since you left, everybody has been asking me, texting me, inboxing me. Because, you're a worldly woman that likes to travel. And most folks just assume, oh, she's probably in London. She's probably doing an extended stay in Brazil, which is not unusual for you. But you actually left 101.7 The Truth. Now, you're back with Dr. Ken, but you departed.
I departed the morning show, but I was still doing Dr. Ken and I were doing the Truth segment, which is what ultimately evolved into this new show on The Truth. But yes, I was still doing the Truth segment with Dr. Ken on WTMJ every Sunday evening. Well, I shouldn't say every.
Well, that don't count because that's a different. No, I'm just saying you're not with us on The Truth. So folks that listen to The Truth, they wouldn't hear you. They would only hear you if they heard your show on TMJ on Sunday nights.
That's true. That's true. And just so y'all know, Sherwin and I have still remained in contact. We're still buddies. We still talk. We keep on each other on the radar. So thank you for that, Sherwin.
Of course, Denise.
But yeah, I've been doing really well. Business is going well. Travel is still kicking my you know what.
All right.
But I'm here. I wanted to make sure that, and thank you again for letting me promote the new show, but also just say what's up to Truth Nation. I miss y'all. I have received a couple of DMs on Instagram. So shout out to all the people that just checked on me.
So when people ask you, because I have to be very diplomatic when people ask me about your departure, because that's really something that I would rather you be sharing with folks who are inquiring. So when somebody asks you, hey, Denise, I ain't heard you for a while. Are you still in London? When are you coming back? What do you tell folks when they ask about your departure?
As a matter of fact, I just had a listener stop me yesterday at the Bucks game. He was like, is your name Denise? And I said, it is. He said, I miss hearing you on the morning show. And so when I received that question, I said, well, first of all, thank you for listening and thank you for missing me. Secondly, I'm doing great. I haven't left The Truth. I'm coming back. I live in Dallas. And so it's for me, it's making sure that the listeners receive a consistent quality show on The Truth. They get that from Sherwin Hughes. They get that from Tori Lowe. They get that from Dr. Ken. And I just wanted to make sure that I was able to do the same thing. It's not healthy to have 3 great shows and then a show where you just can't give 1,000%. And the team collectively isn't giving 1,000%. Now, do you want me to be Denise or do you want me to be politically correct? Because I could do both. So you just tell me.
Denise, why would you ask me to tell you how to be, and especially now?
I said this on the morning show. I love people. And when it comes to your gift, it's one thing to have a gift. Kobe Bryant had a gift. Mm-hmm. The only reason why Kobe Bryant didn't lose his gift is because he kept developing it. And he gave you know what about the Lakers. So I can only work in environments where people just like me want to show up consistently, give 1,000%, and want to continue developing their craft. That's all. And I don't like to be the smartest person in the room. You made the observation when I was on your show, Sherwin. You were like, man, Denise, you haven't said too much. Yeah, because I'm listening, because you're a wise individual. However you feel about Professor Hughes, he is a man of intellect. So I'm always like, shoot, let me turn my voice off and be a sponge and learn.
Yeah, you turn into my little kitten.
Yeah. I get real vulnerable around intelligent people, especially when they're black men. Ooh,
I know.
You know how I am. Ooh,
yes, we all know how you know.
Nothing.
What's it like being famous in a city that you're not even really in all that often? So you said you're here fairly often, I suppose, for someone that lives in a whole nother part of the country, but you went to a Bucks game and somebody they recognize you. What's that like being famous in Milwaukee?
What, Sherwin, you get it way more than I do, so don't even try it.
I don't look at it like that. get minorly inconvenienced when I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing is always when I see somebody that recognizes me. But Denise, you might be more famous than I am.
I definitely disagree.
Especially after you were here. You had our longest running morning show, and then you were not here, and that like makes your fame capital go up because then people miss you, and it creates that scarcity and that demand.
Oh, I love that. Is it called, you said fame capital?
Oh, yeah. You have fame capital.
Fame capital.
Yeah. Because people are wondering where you're at. And now you're here on my show as a special guest. So what's it like with all of your fame?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm just saying.
You know, I just think I think it's my voice. I have a signature voice, and I have to be careful because I've heard people say that don't even know me, you have a very, unique voice. Are you in the media? Are you on radio? And I'm like, as a matter of fact, I am. Thank you. So I just think I have a very either signature voice or voice that screams you speak publicly for a profession, which all are true. I don't necessarily attest it to fame, because if I were famous, like the real true definition of famous, come on, Sherwin, we would be, if we were truly like, famous is like, well, maybe that is true, because fame, I think, has a lot to do with how you influence people.
Potentially, and how they feel about themselves and how they may look at the world differently because of your unique influence.
Yeah. Beyonce is famous.
Oh, of course she is. And infamous too, though, right? There's some people that don't care that she's a billionaire and that she's one of the greatest performing artists of our time, right? So there's some fame, there's also some infamy.
Now, Sherwin, I will say this, and you taught me this about listenership. Whether people like you or not, oh man, I'm reading some of these comments on the truth. Boy, nothing changed. I'm looking at the caller, his comment on your text dashboard here.
Oh, I don't even have it up. I can't even imagine what he's saying.
Anywho, whether people like you or not, Sherwin, you have a huge following, and that has everything to do with your ability to influence. I'm just reading these texts. The way that you organically can influence further dialogue, perspective, opinion. That is an extension of fame. So you are famous. I mean,
stop making this about me. You're my special guest.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will just answer your question.
I am just a humble servant of Denise Thomas and the Lord. Right now, we got to take a break. Remember, we have to take commercial breaks here when we do live radio.
I forgot about those.
Yeah. You got to get back used to doing the breaks because you haven't left. You are somewhat back, and we're going to talk more about your show, what you've been doing, what your love life is like, because I'm curious. I want to know what's going on now.
Why are you acting like we don't have one?
Okay, so you are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. My special in-studio guest is none other than DT, Denise Thomas. Don't go anywhere. We'll both be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Friday night, the Panthers look to be victorious as they host conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins.
Stillwell takes it out of there. Panthers tied at 40 apiece. Folks on a step-through score. 94 feet of Themis Folks to give Milwaukee the lead right back.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 6:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
People will tell you that race is a social construct and that there's no biological reality that distinguishes between a white individual and a black individual. So what does that mean if there are these quote-unquote disparities, right? It means that the way we move through a society is markedly different, right? And that the experience that we have has biological consequences. Is when you're in a society where people are constantly discriminating against a certain group, denying access, don't have control over the institutions that govern our lives. All of those things create a biological reality and a response, whether it's a stress hormone or a fear or something that could be passed on, what we call epigenetics, which means what my mother or my grandmother experienced had an effect on what formed me in my responses to those stressors. That's how we can be two individual people with very little difference, but have totally, vastly different experiences as we move through our reproductive health.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Adrian was seriously injured when a careless driver merged into her lane.
Gruber was there for everything that I needed. Any questions that I had, Gruber was there. They made me feel like everything about my situation and my accident was very important to them, and that made me feel good. And I would definitely call Gruber again for that.
Serving Wisconsin for over 35 years, Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They go above and beyond for their clients.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Another woman that can take your spotlight.
I don't want people to get the wrong idea because this song is called My Love. Oh, look at Denise singing. Go ahead, Denise.
Just to say how much you mean to me.
Well, but you know this is my baby daddy. I don't even know what y'all playing. Y'all know I love me some. Are we going to go see Justin together, Sherwin?
Why would we go see your baby daddy, white Justin Timberlake, together? No.
What was his name? Say it again. My what?
White Justin Timberlake, your baby daddy. Not going to see him.
So I take that's a yes.
Nope, it's not.
He'll be here February 22nd at Pfizer.
For all we know, as famous as you are, Denise, you probably are dating him. Who are you dating these days? Who are you in love with? Are you married? Are you engaged? Are you having a baby? Are you pregnant? Who's the real baby daddy? Who is the father, Denise? We all want to know. We're inquiring minds. What's going on?
You are hilarious. Well, first, can I give a shout out to Jean? Jean says, so happy to hear you, DT. We miss your voice in the morning. I'm going to have to show the kids these segments. She absolutely loves you. I love her back. Thank you, Jean. Ernie is doing great. He spent the night in my hotel room. So
Ernie is your dog.
Grand dog. I'm Granny.
That's unbelievable. But all right. That's not the only man that's in your life. I know you're over here trying to distract the listeners from what they really want to know.
I am enjoying.
Oh, so that means you have multiple. You have many. No, you don't?
Not at all.
Okay. So you're single.
As a dollar bill.
Okay. But you go out when you want to, and I'm sure you got a whole roster. If you feel like maybe going and getting a glass of wine or maybe going to dinner, you got a roster.
You know what? I think that's a compliment. But here's the thing, sir, I have to work on being approachable.
Really? You're not approachable?
I don't think so.
Have you been told that, or is this something that like you feel you're not approachable?
Okay, I'm going to share a quick story. So a good guy friend of mine, he's like a brother. We went to New York. It's a tradition. We go to New York City and we spend New Year's Eve. Or we celebrate New Year's Eve going to New Year's Day in New York. So we went to this restaurant and we were talking about that. And he said, I guarantee you every man in this room is probably, checked you out and then, okay, they're probably on a date. He said, but let's practice something. He says, I'm going to move to the other side of the bar. You just sit here and let's just see if anybody approaches you.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but I need you to do something, Denise. He said, I need you to just be there. I don't need you looking on your phone. I don't need you, looking professional. And just how you are, just be there. Don't do anything. Just be there.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm going to actually order you a drink. You just sit there and just sip on the drink and just, kind of look around. And I said, okay. I mean, he's prescribing what I should do.
All right.
Ladies, it worked. Within, I would say, 10 minutes, a gentleman approached me.
Of course.
And I was like, oh. But I do realize that was an exercise that had to be choreographed. Because when I'm not with somebody that'll tell me what to do, I have been told I don't give off approachable vibes. And men, the last thing they want to do is approach a woman to be rejected. Actually, you told me that too. You said men are not walking up to a woman unless they feel like, okay, she gave me eye contact. We did like the 10-second lock or whatever time frame it is. Then I now can go and make my move.
I want to go into more detail, but you are correct. So if a man is single and potentially looking for a woman, like we have to apply logic to our approach, because getting shut down, especially getting shut down in public, can harm the ego, especially because other people are witnessing it, right? So if a woman makes eye contact with us and we see that she's not wearing a wedding ring and she's sitting alone, then that gazelle has strayed from the pack, and then we will go in and potentially approach her. Men that will approach a woman sitting by herself without getting like eye contact or like some kind of okay to come and approach are usually probably married because they have nothing to lose. But a woman sitting by herself, an attractive woman sitting alone, a man is going to approach you. If you look up and look around and you lock eyes with a guy and he is single, he's going to take that as, oh, she has an interest in me. Let me go and talk to her and introduce myself. If there's men that just come up to you behind you, just tap you on your shoulder, then they probably have nothing to lose. They don't care about the rejection. So they are looking at you as the gazelle that strayed from the pack, and maybe they get lucky, maybe they don't.
I almost called you from New York. I'm going to tell you why. I almost called you like December 30th.
Can you do it in 45 seconds? Because you know how the breaks are.
Okay. When we come back, I'm going to tell the world why I almost called Sherwin from Brooklyn. Because I went to all the bureaus. I hung out in Harlem. I went to Queens. I went to the Bronx. I did it all. I love New York City. When we come back, I'm going to tell y'all why I almost called Sherwin. And when I say y'all ladies who are listening, and when Sherwin is giving, quote unquote, whether it's intentional or not, dating advice, trust and believe him, because my friend...
Thank you!
My friend said something. I was like, Sherwin said that on his show, and I didn't believe him. So we come back, I'm going to tell you what my friend said that almost... I was like, I got to call Sherwin, but, since you deny our relationship on the public airwaves, I'll just pretend that I didn't call you and that you don't answer my calls.
You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. A bit of sad news. We just found out about the passing of Bob Uecker, so we'll be talking more about that as the show goes on. Don't go anywhere. Denise and I will be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your girl, DT, and I am back. Join Dr. Ken Harris and I every Monday night for our weekly show, The Truth Unfiltered. We're going to break down the top news stories of the week with no filters and no apologies. We're going to tell you just exactly how it TI is, which is the only way that Dr. Ken and I know how to roll. So be sure to tune in to The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken every Monday night from 6 to 8 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture. Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. 2 brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 101.7 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds. innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you. He's a friend of mine. Yes, yes, I am. And he goes by the name Justin. Whoa.
Welcome to hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, my in-studio guest, Denise Thomas, and we, of course, are featuring music from her baby daddy, Justin Timberlake, who she probably is in a relationship with, and she's just not telling us. We're going to have to find out from the tabloids that Denise is actually
He's married.
dating. Oh, really? That don't matter sometimes.
It matters to me.
Does it? If
Yes.
Justin Timberlake was in your inbox like Dion, would you really say, Justin, no, you're married?
Yes. That's not my man. That's her man.
Stop it.
He belongs to her.
Okay.
I don't want something that belongs to somebody else.
I mean, he could belong to you temporarily. He could fly you out, and you guys could belong to each other for, a couple days at a time.
I already have an open marriage with you, Sherwin. I don't have the capacity to have any more open marriages.
Technically, yes, you do. If you're in an open marriage, that means that the marriage is open, because I want you to live your best life, and whatever you do when you are living your best life, I want you to do all of those things. I want you to be happy and content. And if you're out and you meet a man and he approaches you when you're sitting at a bar like a little lonesome dove, and he romances you and he makes you laugh, I want you to enjoy that experience, because guess what? I can't be there. And if you can enjoy an experience with somebody else, who am I to take that away from you?
That's why our relationship thrives, because we have that mutual understanding. Tell the people the truth. Come on, Sherwin.
We may not talk for weeks, but apparently our relationship is stronger than our communication consistency, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Before we went on break, you were going to sing my praises when it comes to my relationship advice, which for some reason, a lot of my listeners want to dismiss the things that I say about dating and about relationships. But you had a scenario not too long ago where you were reminded of something that I said because it came to fruition in real life. Is that correct, Denise?
It is. And I hate to say this, y'all, because when he first made the comment on his show, I was like, no, that's not fair. You can't just think that. So I'm in Brooklyn with my brother friend, and he said, let's try something here. He said, because there was a beautiful, Brooklyn, whew, I probably shouldn't say it this way, but it's so gentrified now. But I mean, yeah. Brooklyn looks literally like Mayfair.
Oh, my.
No, I'm serious.
I believe it.
Parks. Clean parks, infrastructure has been. Brooklyn is Mayfair. It's like Wauwatosa. Anywho, there's a beautiful Target there, and he was like, "I'll tell you what." He said, "Go into Target. I'm going to go on the complete opposite side of the store. Go into Target, grab a basket, and just walk around the women's cosmetics section." So I proceed, and as women, I can tell you this as a woman. I don't want to generalize, but y'all on our YouTube channel, just let me know. And I see y'all. Thank you so much. I miss y'all too. Women, when we shop, we're not thinking about men. We're thinking about what we're there to shop for. And if we're shopping for like feminine products or cosmetics, we're very focused. My understanding, Sherwin, is that men, no matter where y'all are, what are you doing, you're thinking about either women or sex. That's what I was told.
Our radar, it has levels. Like if I'm out like shopping and doing something focused, my radar is still on. It's just turned down, but it's always on. If I see a beautiful woman, then all of a sudden my radar can go from like 2 to 17. You know what I mean? If I'm out with the intention of meeting somebody, then my radar is at peak. But our radar is never completely off because we are not going to let a beautiful woman just pass us by.
Ours is. So what you said. So my friend was like, "Okay, walk around." So this security guard in the Target store in Brooklyn, because now I'm aware of this project, this experiment, and I was like, "He's a creeper." Like, So I tell my friend. He's like, "Well, okay, so what happened?" I said, "Yeah, guy was kind of following me." I was like, "He was weird. He was a creeper." He was like, "The security guard?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "What was wrong?" He was like, "Why was he a creep?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, he was walking like close to me." And he was like, "Does that make him a creep?" He said, "Denise, the reason why he was a creep to you because you weren't attracted to him." And I was like, Sherwin said the exact same thing on his show, but I didn't believe you. What did you say? You said if he was good looking to me, I'd have been like, dude, Sherwin, what'd you say during the break? He would have said something, and I thought, regardless of what he said.
He can be like an attractive man has so much latitude with what they can get away with women, being too close, being in her inbox, even saying an insult. If he's fine enough, he don't even got to say good morning, beautiful, to you. He can be like, "What you doing, big head?" You like, "Why are you so stupid? Why you nothing thinking about you?" But then there could be a man you're not attracted to, a well-meaning dude, honest dude, works hard, just a faithful, good guy, but he's not attractive. He'll send you a text message, "Good morning, beautiful. I hope you have a wonderful day. I have some flowers on the way to your office." And you'll look at your phone like, ugh, him again. Oh, my God. But it's that really attractive man, that man that checks all of your boxes, can say anything to you. And that's actually kind of dangerous for women because y'all let really attractive men get away with damn near anything. Attractive men can cheat. Women don't leave cheaters. If he's attractive enough and if he checks enough boxes, he can cheat and she won't leave. She'll be mad at him. She'll be hurt. She'll want to know one question. Do you love her? And if he says no, well, just try not to do it again.
I disagree with that.
No, you can if you want to. Have you left a man for cheating?
Yes.
Okay.
But it took a longer. It took.
You didn't leave him immediately.
No.
So when it happened, you were angry, you left. At some point, there was a reconciliation.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you and him still?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though. I'm also wiser and more mature. But yes, I do. But here's the thing. I think when women that are experience infidelity, or if you're in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship and the boyfriend cheats, I think from a woman's standpoint, it's like, I got to compete with something now. I got to compete with something or someone, and there's something about me that's not enough. So that's where the insecurities and the deficits come into play. So then we're just constantly, well, where are you going? Or who are you with?
Sure.
Or what are you doing? And then that eventually gets on y'all's nerves because as men, y'all don't want to be questioned. You deal enough with that outside of a relationship. And then that's where I think ultimately breaks up the relationship. But I mean, I'm not going to stay with a fine man just because he's fine.
No, he does have
if
to be.
If he's rich. No.
See, the more boxes that get checked, the more forgiving she potentially can be, because at some point, of course, she's going to get mad and she'll threaten to leave, and she will leave because she wants him to feel her absence. But then while she is absent from him, she'll be thinking, damn, he's probably with her right now. Let me go on back home and see if I can make this right. So women don't. This is like if a couple is married and they have children and the husband is unfaithful, she ain't filing for divorce right away. She's not. And so when I say that,
lose. And then there's also too much that I've
But
built.
your self-respect, though. You should say, no, I'm leaving you.
Okay, why do you think Beyonce stayed with Jay-Z after she literally told the whole world, Jay-Z cheated on me, the album Lemonade? Why do you think she stayed in that relationship? Because even she said on her album, he's not the most attractive person. Why do you think she stayed?
Probably 1,000,001 reasons, most of which we'll never know. I think she knows
women know
what she has with him and the empire they can build. Also, here's another example. Hillary really should have left Bill. She should have, but she did not.
But she told you why she didn't in her memoir.
I didn't read her memoir. I just know that she didn't leave.
I read it several times.
You know who else didn't leave? Melania, and Melania should leave. But here's the thing about Melania Trump. I think she actually has men on the side, and this has always been my hunch. They're black. I think just to make Trump even that more mad. Because she's seen Trump with prostitutes and porn stars, and it's been splashed all over the tabloids, and he actually was taken to court and found guilty because he was hiding an affair he had with a woman he paid, $100 and some $1,000. She ain't left either. In fact, she about to be first lady for the second time. Women don't leave cheaters. They don't. They'll get angry. They might even go and live their own lives, but they ain't leaving. Because why should you let some other woman get a man that you spent all of this time investing in?
There you go.
You want a return on your investment.
Preach. I'm not about to let some little thing who was a fling come in and take everything that I've built. And that's ultimately, and plus also Beyonce's been very public recently. She did not want to adhere to the stereotype of black marriages dissolving.
Even though she had a legitimate reason for dissolving it.
But she was like, I'm not gonna allow another black family that has been viewed as one of the most powerful black couples in the world to dissolve because of his infidelity. That's basically what she said.
Kind of a cop-out, but at the same time, I understand it.
But who's gonna date Beyonce after Jay-Z? Who would date her? Think about it. Who would be? I'm not even gonna use the words because I don't want to be too assuming. Mm-hmm. Sherwin, as a man, Beyonce divorces Jay-Z.
Yeah.
She's single.
Yeah.
Who is going to follow Jay-Z?
So it's not about who's going to follow Jay-Z. So Beyonce would go through, and this is just me as a man observing from the outside, I could be totally off base, because it would be like so painful and so traumatic, and she'd have to rebuild aspects of her life that the public doesn't even know about. She would go through a series of eras and phases. She'd have a little hoe phase, like Kim Kardashian got Pete Davidson. She would go through a phase where she'd be playing with athletes, like really famous, probably younger than her, beautiful athletes, professional football players, baseball players. Then she also would go through another era where she wants more stability and maturity. She'd get her old white guy that's the CEO of IBM or something. So she would go through a series of phases. It's not about the man or the men that would follow up on Beyonce. It's about who Beyonce would welcome into her life as she goes through different phases.
Let me say it differently, Sherwin.
Yes.
Who is Jay-Z gonna let come after him with his baby mama? Because at that point she'll be Beyonce Carter, mother of Blue Ivy, and I don't know the baby, the twins' names. Who is Jay-Z gonna allow somebody else? Like, I'm focusing more on him.
So you're saying that Jay-Z would have a say-so on who Beyonce is involving herself with, or who is Jay-Z going to date after Beyonce?
I'm saying that his brand is strong enough to where she may want to, behind the scenes, have her garden tool phase.
Yes.
But there are a lot of men that are going to be like, man, I know Beyonce's single, but I ain't trying to start no mess with Hove. I ain't trying to get on.
Men don't see it that way.
Okay.
If she's in the pond, if she's swimming in the pond, she's fair game.
So Jay-Z would not have, like, he wouldn't be trying to control, like, I wish you would try to date me.
No. Men don't, like, men that understand the game. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that.
Somebody like Jay-Z, though, too. Somebody like Jay-Z would be okay with seeing his...
Jay-Z ain't got no choice.
Okay.
In fact, Jay-Z is better off not reacting to it, because if he reacts to it, then Beyonce can then be involved with really any man she wants, but men that she knows will really get under Jay-Z's skin. What Jay-Z would end up doing is he would just like go find him a 21-year-old hood rat. Like, men are not, he's not saying like, oh, I have to go find another Beyonce now that she and I broke up. I need to find a woman of similar caliber. There are no women of similar caliber.
Zero.
So he only goes down. But here's the thing about Jay-Z. He could find some 21-year-old hood rat and then like make her go platinum. Like, he would produce a bunch of albums for her and like do a lot for her. Like, he has that ability. But men, how do I explain this in a way that makes sense, the way I understand it in my head? If a very famous and powerful man like Jay-Z is with a woman like Beyonce, their relationship dissolves, and now Beyonce is free game for anybody and everybody. There is no man that is going to say, oh, I can't talk to Beyonce or hit on her or try to bed her because Jay-Z might get angry. If someone is able to land Beyonce after Jay-Z, that is a badge of honor, and like that's the most alpha male thing that you can possibly do. Because now that man that is now involved with Beyonce is thinking like, I got Jay-Z's prize. Like, she is now with me right now. So that allows that man, the next guy, even though it sounds counterintuitive, to have a level of status over Jay-Z because, like, I got her now. And with us, it's all about the woman that we have right now in the moment, not who she used to be with. Oh, yeah.
I did not. This is news to me. So let me ask you this, Sherwin.
It's always borrowed time. Whenever a man is with a woman, especially a woman that's like in the stratosphere with her caliber, we know that because chances are we're not going to marry her, right? Just chances are, statistically, probably not. We just know that she's on borrowed time. So when she's gone, but enjoy her while you have her.
Do I have time to ask you another question before we go to break?
Sure.
Okay. Now, Vanessa Bryant, who was married to Kobe Bryant until his death, his tragic death, she filed for divorce twice while he was alive and they were married. She filed twice.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years since Kobe Bryant and their daughter were killed tragically in the helicopter crash. I have yet to see her out with anybody. Based on what you just shared, why is that?
So I think the legacy of her husband and all of the philanthropic work that his foundation is still doing, if she is there's no right man Vanessa Bryant could ever be with without a tremendous amount of public scrutiny. People would berate her because, how could you do this to Kobe? Kobe is dead.
5 years.
And screwing women in heaven. Because the reason why she probably filed for divorce twice, because he was screwing because he was 18 years old when he went to the league. He wasn't ready for that kind of power and responsibility. He is. That's why she filed for divorce. But she didn't leave him. There's a higher level of scrutiny on her.
You know why? Because she got black female friends that said, okay, so let me get this straight. You were starring in videos, weren't even like a video vixen when you met him on set.
Yeah.
You're going to leave him. You're going to divorce him. Your last name still may be Bryant, but everybody's going to be Team Kobe. And all those restaurants and stores and cars that you're able to just walk up and that's going to go away. Somebody, I'm telling you, her black female friend sat her down and was like, whoa. What are you doing? Hold on.
She is involved with somebody. I guarantee it. We just don't know who it is.
Absolutely. I mean, it's 5 years. Come on now. And she's a beautiful woman. Very attractive.
And it's not like...
And she's in L.A.
It was even recently. She probably was involved with somebody within a year of his passing. So the analogy I use is...
Honey, she was with the garden boy before.
How you know that?
Because she's a woman.
Okay. Oh, no, you're right.
She filed for divorce. She's beautiful. She filed for divorce twice. Yeah, she was, while Kobe was being the greatest of all time in different cities during his last, the retirement tour?
Yeah.
Oh, garden boy.
I want to have a conversation about beauty because I think that women, you overestimate it because you'll see a really beautiful woman and then a man will cheat on a beautiful woman because it happens all the time. And the first thing a woman will say is, oh, my God, how could he cheat? You're so beautiful. I think y'all look at beauty differently than we do. But before I get to that, you've probably seen like a dog, like a canine that hasn't been like spayed or neutered and they just hump, right? You've seen this before. Like dogs will hump your leg, they'll hump other dogs. Sometimes dogs hump pillows. It's fairly commonplace just to see a dog humping something, right? You've seen it before.
I have a grand dog.
Okay, there you go. Have you ever seen a cat do the same thing?
No.
Exactly. Cats are women. They do it because kittens are born. You just don't see them humping. Dogs, men, we hump indiscriminately. Sometimes we walk around and hump the air. You know what I mean? We just wait for something just to get in front of us, and then, we got lucky. So dogs hump all the time, and it's commonplace. Cats,
I want to be clear, though. I'm not surprised when men cheat on beautiful women, because that's not, y'all are kind of like, how kids were on Christmas morning. They open the gift. They're like, I've been waiting all year to get this new toy. They play with it for 5 minutes, and then the attention is just like depleted. It's like, I'm ready to play with something else.
Not only will a man cheat on a beautiful woman, he will cheat with a woman that is less beautiful than the one that he had. And there's a phenomenon, and maybe we should explain it. Is this what we're doing, Denise, with our time together? Are we talking about?
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, Sherwin. I am a guest on your show.
This is so fun.
And I'm not going to sabotage. I'm going to stay here for about maybe 10 or 15 more minutes because I know your listeners are like, I want my Sherwin. I want my Professor Hughes.
You can stay as long as you want.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We got to take a break right now, though. We should probably talk about Trump and Biden and make it more like radio show-like. We'll figure that out on the other side.
Let's do it.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. My special in-studio guest is none other than Denise Thomas. Don't go anywhere. We'll both be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Monday, January 20th, because that is the official launch date for my new show, Truth to Power. Every day from 12 to 1, I will have a community conversation which matters to you. From topics like our property tax bill price hike to the incredible MPS students getting millions of dollars in scholarships to why y'all need to leave Travis Hunter the heck alone, I have you covered. So make sure you tune into the debut of Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, on Monday, January 20th from 12 to 1 on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 1017 The Truth.
The City Conference gave us some incredible games so far this week. In the boys' gold division, we had a matchup between two MPS rivals as the Bradley Tech Trojans traveled north to take on the Milwaukee Marshall Eagles. This was a classic matchup on paper, but the game was never in doubt as senior guard Arvell Lockhart scored 24 points, leading the Bradley Tech Trojans to victory, defeating Milwaukee Marshall 83-33. Now to the girls' side of things, the Milwaukee School of Languages Hawks took on their conference rival, the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats. The Lady Hawks got out to an early lead, and they never looked back. Led in scoring by senior Amanya Pam Puck Buck, the Hawks defeated the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats 47-28.
This has been your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update on the new 1017 The Truth. MPS proud and MPS strong.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Keep it real.
Welcome back to the program.
Do my Mason.
Go ahead now. Now, he's like a man of the cloth now.
He's been a clergyman.
Yeah.
He's been
Preacher man.
Mason brother. He's been a man of God. Or the clergy, I should say.
But I bet if he slipped in the inbox, you'd give Mace the time of day.
I would not, because he also is married.
Oh, please.
He is. He's happily married. He talks about his wife, not all the time, but people that know Mason brother know he married.
Women treat men like men treat jobs. Let me give you an example. So a woman could have a decent job, making okay money, benefits are cool. She's been there for a little while, got a little bit of money in her 401k. Yeah, she's committed. She's got her coworkers there. It's decent. It's a fair commute. It's all right. Right? It's an okay job. She potentially can see herself retiring from that job. But one day a recruiter might call her, offering her a bigger contribution to her 401k. You know where I'm going with this? Offer her more vacation time. Offer her the ability to work from home. Offer her $50,000, $100,000 more dollars per year and bonuses and revenue sharing every 6 months. She will leave the job she's at. No, look, and no offense to the job that she's at. Hey, y'all are cool. I loved working here, but I'm finna go on and take this other job. Men, we treat women almost like we treat money, right? we go to school, we get an internship, we prepare ourselves, we do all sorts of trainings, we start low in that job, and we work our way up, and then you get to a point where you are the executive now, and your resume is stellar, and now you have all of these other jobs and these other opportunities, and you worked for all of them. So when additional money or additional offers come your way, you take them. So a man that has to put in all of this work to make himself have a decent level of status, he gets an education, he's got a well-respected reputation, he might even go to the gym to work out so he can work on his body. He does all of this work to get women, and so then when he gets more women, he gladly accepts them. Even though he may have one, but think about all the work that he did, all the maturing he had to do, all the growing he had to do. He had to leave his childish ways behind to become this man who is worthy of getting women. And so when women offer themselves to him, it's like money. Like, he's not going to not take free money. Everybody may be making a fair amount of money, but none of us are going to turn down free money. So if you have a little bit of money in the bank, a wife, and she's a very nice wife, but then somebody else offers you $17,000 in cash that you can do whatever you want with, you're a fool if you don't take it, because you did all of the work for people to offer you that money. And so we take it. Now, that's not in every scenario, but I think if people look at those analogies,
it makes total sense. Like, I'm connecting the dots as you're speaking. I'm like, oh, okay.
Y'all don't see the work that we do to become desirable and attractive to you. Y'all don't see that work. Y'all only see the finished product, and the finished product is, oh, I like this man. I'm attracted to this man. He's got status. He's got stature. He's got money. He's got a reputation. You don't know all the stuff that he did. You didn't see him shooting in the gym. You just see him as the MVP, right?
Let me ask you this, too. I'm dying at Brian's comment on the Truth Talking text line, Brian K. So, Sherwin, here's another misconception that I want to get your, I will say, opinion, educated opinion on.
Okay.
Women, older women like myself, who's 48.
Yeah.
I'll be 49 this year.
You don't look a day over 30.
Bless you. Thank you. My thing is, a lot of women will say, well, you know, I'm older now, so I'm not attractive to men. Or some men will say, oh, she's hit the 40 mark. It's time for me to go back to the litter and find me a youngin'. I ultimately think that men would prefer to date a younger woman, or they have more fun when they're dating women that are in their same age bracket, 20 and 30s, because women are still learning. They're vulnerable. They don't know too much. I know I don't, and as a black woman, I know I don't look my age, because black women, we age very gracefully, okay? I know I don't look my age. I'm okay with that. But once I start talking, I see the attractive, successful man starting to pull back, because he's like, okay, she know too much. She done been around too much. I can't manipulate. I can't mold like I can a young woman. Because when Diddy was dating Cassie, I'm going to blow up your career. I'm going to make you the next Beyonce or Rihanna. All these things. That was part of the disposition. Like, he false advertised. He did the same thing. What was her name from the City Girls? Karusha or Karuse or whatever. She was on an interview. She was like, I love Diddy because he told me that I was going to be the greatest, and he believed in me, and he saw. And I was like, see, that's the same thing he told Cassie. Men oftentimes will pursue younger women, not because they look better, but because they are more influential. They're easy to manipulate if they're that type of man. Right. So I can look 25. I can be very attractive to a man. And as soon as he approaches me and we start having a conversation, so what do you do for a living? Blah, 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 blah. Then I start to become less and less and less attractive. That's the reality.
Men will use whatever capital they have to get whatever woman they desire. And so Diddy is such a horrible example, but we're going to go with it. If he can use his status, his fame, and his wealth to get a young, ambitious, impressionable woman, then he'll use that. The thing with older women is that a lot of times, especially if they have comparable success, especially comparable fame, we know that our status and our capital is not going to work as well on them, right? So there has to be other elements to the relationship or his interest in her instead of him, because he knows he can't just use his status and his fame and his wealth and his notoriety.
That you said he was very intentional throughout his trajectory in becoming this person, because he knows that if I got the car, if I got the money, if I got the fame, I could walk up to any beautiful young woman I want and say, I can make you this, I can make you that. But my age, it's too much work. I'll hang out with you, Denise. I'll go out, we'll have a good time or whatever, woo-woo, but you're going to hold me accountable.
Well, the other thing is with an older woman, and I dare not say that you're an older woman.
Oh, I am.
The understandings are different, though, because a lot of times women, when they reach a particular age, they've been through it all. Yeah. They've seen it all. So you can be like, you can take an older one and be like, hey, sweetheart, here's what it's going to be. I'm going to be in town 3 days a month. When we're together, we're together. I'm going to take you out to dinner. I'm not going to answer my phone or look at my phone when I'm with you. And a lot of older women be like, cool, because I'm going to do the exact same thing.
That's why you and I work together so well.
Oh, good Lord. But at the same time, Sherwin might have an ambitious 21-year-old who wants to get into radio.
And you know what? Here's my thing. No,
so you might have a 21-year-old dude that's ambitious.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, thank you, little young girl, because now I don't have to do all the work.
Well, you have to do
you didn't took that pressure off of me. Thank you.
You're going to have to do some work.
But here's the thing. It's all subjective. Like, you and I have a mutual understanding.
We do?
Well, I thought we did.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
So it works for us.
Apparently it does.
But there's, most people who've been raised by traditionalism and, I got to do what society tells me to do. That's not going to work. It's either you going to be with me. I will say this. If I ever decide to accept a proposal, if I get proposed to for marriage, it is not going to be a traditional marriage. I'm going to tell you that right now, because I don't have a traditional lifestyle. Mm-hmm. I cannot incorporate traditional values in a marriage when I don't have a traditional life.
That's true.
I'm not being for real.
I know.
Like, you can't, I would never say, Sherwin, I need you to be home when I get home. Because you're never home. Like, when you are home, you just want to be around the house. So I have to, whoever decides that they want me to be their wife or their woman or their partner, however you want to describe it, I cannot expect traditional, what's the word I'm thinking of, Sherwin? I can't expect traditional values because I'm not a traditional woman.
And anyone that is with you should know that going into it. Like, you're not going to fool any guy into thinking that you're going to be like the traditional housewife.
Not at all. But even if I could be a housewife, my career won't allow me to do that. Like, my primary mode of transportation is an airplane. Like, my primary housing, would you stop? That I do not want to manifest. I'm still working on me.
Denise, there's something that I've been wanting to ask you for a very long time.
Okay. I'm listening.
It's going to take a lot. Okay.
You got everybody sitting like on the edge of their seat.
Denise Thomas.
Yes, Sherwin Hughes.
Famously known as DT.
Is it happening?
Will you take me to lunch after the show? Can we go? You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. Denise and I will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Got you.
Now is the perfect time to join the Nextdoor family. Whether you're a parent seeking the best for your child or a professional ready to make a difference. At Nextdoor, children thrive in small classrooms with 2 teachers, exploring art, music, and STEAM. With special needs support, family resources, and kindergarten readiness, every child gets the attention they deserve. And they're also hiring. Enjoy competitive pay, great benefits, and opportunities for personal and professional growth in a fun, welcoming culture. Make a real impact in the community. Join Nextdoor today, where every child, every family, and every team member matters.
Celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy with the Bucks at Fiserv Forum on Sunday, January 19th. This annual MLK celebration game presented by We Energies honors Dr. King's spirit of community advocacy. Catch the Bucks in action on the court with a special halftime performance, the We Energies Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest winner. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit bucks.com/impact.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Calling all big thinkers. The world's climate is changing. These aren't new facts, but it means we must think in new ways about how we can live, prosper, and provide energy for our world while protecting our planet. Engineers are answering the call to create cleaner, safer, reliable energy. Solar power, harnessing the power of the sun to light all corners of the globe. Wind power, channeling a simple breeze to bring electricity to our homes. Hydropower, using the natural flow of water to generate electricity. Nuclear power, engineering advanced reactors that are safer, more reliable, and produce zero carbon emissions. Engineers are leading the way and empowering the next generation. Engineers answer the call. Brought to you by the National Academy of Engineering. Learn more at nae.edu.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. Denise Thomas is in the studio. Denise, you are kind of hard to handle, as Otis Redding is telling.
I am. I look. I used to get offended by that, but but it was the delivery that certain people were saying it to me. My guy friend that I went to New York with, he broke it down for me.
Whoa! You went to New York with a guy friend?
He's like my brother. Like we separate hotel rooms.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, just wanted to make sure y'all weren't shacking up now.
No.
And even if you were, I wouldn't mind. That's gonna mess with you a little bit.
Somebody said on the YouTube message board, you ain't missing nothing. It started off political, and today is going to be a free day in the class, no lesson and no test afterwards.
No.
Professor on chill mode today.
Not necessarily.
This is why I'm about to wrap it up, because I know your listeners, when they listen to you, they want the... But then somebody else said that you and I, Tutu Reeves said, Sherwin, you and Denise should have a dating hour or day once a week. You both give valuable advice for the single people. Just a thought.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but your dance card is already full. You got obligations and professional obligations all over the country, if not all over the world. You have your show with Dr. Ken that's going to be airing on The Truth, which we should talk about before you leave. And also you have your Sunday evening show that airs on TMJ. You ain't got time for me.
I make time for what I want to make time for.
There it is. That's what I was waiting for. Here's why you are of value. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to grab a couple of telephone calls that we have. You are of value because your father is in your life and is a valuable part of your life. And let me tell you why that is incredible as far as you being a commodity in the dating market, because you grew up having to be accountable to a man. You know what it's like to be responsible for your actions and your behavior, because you would very well disappoint your father. A woman that grew up without her father has never had to be accountable to a man. If she's never been accountable to her daddy, she sure ain't going to be accountable to me. I'm going to pause there and talk to someone who I know is very accountable. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Sherwin and DT. I'm glad you're back. I was going to talk about Newsom and Shapiro because I felt where the country is. However, I think I'll just stay on relationships.
Oh, good God.
And I've never talked about relationships. The couple of years I've been calm. But this is one time I'm going to do it. And you, Sherwin is right. You do look young, like you're in your 30s.
Thank you.
Gotta tell you. Yeah. Okay. A man is not made. I mean, he has to be made to be a provider. He cannot just grow into a provider by a woman raising him by herself, or a man and a woman. A man has to make him work early and young. And I don't care what year it is and how it's changed. Women are women, and if you go all over the world like you do, BT, or women, bus drivers and postal workers, they're still a woman, and they have babies. And they got to be geared and watched. So I don't care how the time changes. When a person has children, they got to be watched. So a man being a provider and a woman kind of working part-time, watching the kids, not just like, that's an important job. That's just as important as him being a provider.
Yeah, but what if she doesn't want to have kids, Bob? Because not all women are having kids.
She's still a woman. A woman is a woman. She does not have muscles. She is not a provider.
We don't have muscles?
This is why you shouldn't call and talk about relationships, Bob.
You're trying. Women are trying to look beautiful. They don't have time to have muscles. They're just trying to look very nice.
Bob, thank you. That's all right. Let's do this. Let's talk to somebody who really knows what they're talking about. Oh, hello, Al.
Bob.
How are you, Al?
Well, hello to both of you.
Hey,
First thing I want to say, hey, it's so good to hear from you, and I wish you the best in everything you do. And yes, you do have a powerful muscle, so don't let nobody tell you that.
Thank you, Al.
Fornication.
I missed Al.
He said muscle. He's talking about one in particular.
I know.
I said fornication is always okay when it comes to carnal desires because you are human. If a woman creates her audience, she will never be without, and she will always have choices. You will have your 18 to 30-year-old from 12 a.m. to 5:30 a.m., and you will have your 50-plus between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. As long as a woman know how to use her moose knuckles, she will never be without. And this is what I want to share with all women. If a man ever cheats on you, don't get upset. Make sure you always keep your eye on the daddy, and I don't care if the granddaddy is on a cane. If you go after him, I can guarantee you that is not a gun in his pocket, and he will be the one to put you in the wheel. So if you going to play the game and he going to play the game, you play the game hard. Go for the mutual fund, baby, and you will have a last laugh, because keep in mind, when the flesh get weak, the body does whatever the hell they want. And men are very crafty, but a lot of them is food for the cootie cat, because Juicy got you crazy. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Al.
It was about that time. He does this around the same time every time.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Carolyn, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Sherwin. Good morning. I just want to say that I'm listening to this, and I'm just shaking my head, because I'm like, okay, first of all, people who are not in a relationship need not to be trying to give relationship advice.
Well,
and then secondly, if you're not a counselor or a marriage counselor, stop giving advice, okay? Because you're leading people down the wrong road, because people take information and they be like, oh, this person said that. No, stop it. The truth of the matter is everybody needs to get back to God, because if you look at the Bible and stuff, the woman in Proverbs, she worked. It talks about how she took care of her household, and she got up in the morning and she brought bills and this, that, and the other and stuff. So here's the problem.
Well, Carolyn, can I ask you a question? Carolyn, is that your name?
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, good morning, and thank you for listening.
Good morning, Judy.
Thank you. So secondly, I want to be clear. I never preface any of my comments as a relationship coach or expert. What I am doing is sharing, which is the power of podcasting, the power of radio, and any other type of media source where people are sharing their what? Perspectives. Now, what you do with what I'm sharing based on my personal experiences is totally your prerogative. But I never, nor did Sherwin, market this conversation as the relationship coaches. What I do believe is the power of open dialogue and listening to different perspectives is your ability to say, you know what, that may work for Sherwin or Denise, but that wouldn't work for me. But to come on and say, I'm not taking relationship advice. You should, from somebody who's not in a relationship, you shouldn't, and nor do I. But I never said I was a relationship coach. I am merely doing what, quite frankly, Carolyn, is the reason why we're not progressing as a community, because I shouldn't have to have a qualification or a certification to share my opinion or perspective that may not align with yours without being brought down.
And Denise is back, just like that.
And you know what? I totally agree. And as a person that is in that sports field, I just sit back and I guess I get upset because I listen to how our people just get on talking nonsense. And it just makes us look
Carolyn,
ignorant.
just because you don't agree with it or it doesn't align with your worldview doesn't make it nonsense.
That's what I'm
saying. Does not make it nonsense. Well, the other thing is...
We got to get away from that as black people. We get so mad because somebody's disagreeing, and we start judging them and criticizing. And all you had to say, Carolyn, was, you know what, Sherwin and Denise, I disagree. Yes, we love that. That's the power of radio. But then when you're like, don't take advice from people who ain't in relationships, I never said I was a relationship expert, ever.
And somebody that's in a relationship, the only advice that you can give, if let's say you're in a relationship, Carolyn, the only advice when it comes to relationships you can give is how to be in a relationship with your man. You can't give another woman advice on how to be with her man. And on that note, we appreciate your call, Carolyn. Well, I got to take a break, Denise. Am I losing you? Because you got to...
My son is here.
Okay.
But, I love people like Carolyn, because I love the fact that they call in, because I love, but all I'm saying is that y'all, and I said this when I was on the morning show, please stop. Like, if you disagree, just say that. Because she started saying that she disagreed, then it was like, I don't feel that it's right to take advice from people who aren't in relationships. I never said, listen to my advice, take my advice. Sherwin, you never did. All we did was we're sitting here having a broadcasted, organic conversation about our experiences in dating and how we feel. Let's do better, y'all. Love y'all. Sherwin, I'll see you later.
We'll speak soon, Denise. It's a pleasure having you here. You're welcome anytime.
And could you continue promoting my new show with Dr. Ken, because I have to leave?
Give us the name of it one more time.
Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken.
When is it going to air?
On The Truth, every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time.
Thank you, Denise. Always a pleasure to see you.
Love you, Sherwin.
Love you, too. Talk to you soon. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Friday night, the Panthers look to be victorious as they host conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins.
Stillwell takes it out of there. Panthers tied at 40 apiece. Folks on a step-through score. 94 feet of Themis Folks to give Milwaukee the lead right back.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 6:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice, it's a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom, it's a right to have a child, it's a right to not have children, and this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds lights on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Whether you're dropping your kids off to school or driving to see the in-laws, don't let your car care take a back seat this busy holiday season. Protect your car against salt, rust, and grime at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with state-of-the-art tunnels, free vacuums, and more. Try their new state-of-the-art T2 with graphene wash for the longest-lasting mirror-like shine. Your first wash is free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
That was lovely having Denise here. That was fun. I think she should come back more often. No, she's not going to be my co-host because she would just take my show away from me. But no, she's back here on The Truth. Monday nights from 7 until 9 p.m. Her and Dr. Ken have their own show. And then also you can hear her Sunday evenings on our sister station, WTMJ 620, also with Dr. Ken. So she already has a co-host companion in Dr. Ken Harris. Ricky, wasn't that great having your former colleague as the special guest? And I didn't tell you in advance, and you tried to find out who the special guest was, and I didn't tell you. I know he was happy to see her. He had a great time seeing Denise, and you guys are probably going to end up getting lunch together, I'm sure. Only got 4 or 5 minutes left in this hour, so let me read a couple of text messages, shall we? Barbie says, labels and titles mean everything. Barbie, I need more context. Let me just read some of your earlier messages. Everything is a relationship, Barbie says. There's a difference in what types of relationships, but committed relationships and vows are different. Absolutely. And relationships are also very unique. What works for you is not going to work for somebody else. So always take somebody's quote-unquote relationship advice with a grain of salt. I'm not here to give anybody relationship advice, and if I ever led you to believe that, I will sincerely apologize to you. What I'm trying to tell folks is stuff so you don't get hurt. So you don't go into these situations and situationships thinking that everything is going to be wonderful and beautiful and, oh, my God, they make you feel so good. And those feelings are great and the butterflies are wonderful, but eventually you have to get back to logical reality. It is not always going to be like that. Also, people tell you who they are almost immediately. What happens is when we get in that early stage, the butterfly stage, when everything is wonderful and perfect and you're having so much fun together, you are intentionally ignoring red flags and signs of danger because it is interrupting your dopamine and your feelings of bliss when you were with that person. We overlook all of the red flags, but people tell you precisely who they are every step along the way. And here's one thing I'm going to give women credit for. Women do not lie. They don't. They show you and they tell you precisely who they are from the beginning. That's number one. So they're not lying. They're never lying. What women will do is not tell you the whole truth. They won't tell you everything. But that's not the same as lying. It's a technicality. That's not lying if she didn't tell you all of the details. She might have just said that she went out with her friends for a little while after work. And she did. But she didn't give you the rest of the details of where she went and what she did and the phone call she made after her friend she was hanging out with after work went home. She's not lying to you. She just didn't tell you all the details. So women, shout out to y'all. Y'all don't lie. Men, we lie. Because telling women the truth does not get us laid. And so we get used to lying. Can't tell a woman how you actually, honestly, seriously feel. You have to tell her her version of what she already believes. If she thinks she looks good and she's feeling good and she's having a great day, everything you tell that woman has got to be in line with what she thinks about herself already. You can't tell her, unless you have that kind of relationship with her, and most men don't have that kind of relationship with a woman where you can be brutally honest. Men can be brutally honest with one another, and we actually appreciate that. There's a modicum of respect that goes along with men being honest with one another like that, because we can take it. Because the world is honest with men. If men are lousy, no good, lazy, deadbeats, the world will show us that every second of every day. If a woman is a lousy, lazy deadbeat, we ask, well, what is the man in your life doing? And it's somebody else's fault that you're like this. We just give her an unlimited option to be irresponsible. I was reading something on social media yesterday, and I read it like 10 times because I couldn't believe it. And it was probably one of those rage posts where people just post stuff that is patently false, but they'll post it just to get a reaction from people. And this woman is just glowing about her man and the things that her man does for her. He pays for everything. He sends her flowers, opens car doors for her, whatever her needs are. He is there no matter what. If she needs a vacation, he'll book it. If she needs her back rubbed, he'll rub her back. If she's hungry, he'll either make the food or go and get it. Anything she wants, needs, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, she is completely and totally catered to. Even her responsibilities. If she wants to have a little time away from her kids that aren't even kids that she has with him, he will watch the kids and just allows her to do whatever she wants to do. And so I'm reading the comments in this description of how this man is literally catering to every single need this woman has. Hair done, nails done. She needs a new wardrobe. She wants to buy a new dress for an occasion. She wants to go shopping. He pays for all of that. And the women in the comments are like, oh my God, what is that like? I can only imagine. Oh, you are a queen. You deserve all of these things. And as I'm reading that description that this woman is giving about this man that is literally perfect because he does everything, takes care of her obligations and her responsibilities, not just to herself and her own beauty regimen, takes care of her responsibilities even when it comes to her own children that she does not have by him. And I basically framed it as a perfect man allows a woman to be irresponsible and immature because he will just do everything for her. And the way that the women were praising that relationship blew me away because it's almost like we want to allow women to act like children, and a man that allows a woman to act completely irresponsible so where she doesn't have to do anything, lift a finger, or take any responsibility for herself and her children. Any man that comes in and fills in that void is the ideal man. A man that allows her to act like an irresponsible, immature child. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Juice WRLD, what do you like to do in the morning time?
You know what, Benjamin? I like to do my radio show in the morning time.
Wait, we doing the radio show in the morning?
That is right. Jamming with Juice is now moving on up to 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
So you can listen to us in your mama's house, in your mama's car, your daddy's house. You can listen to us on the way to school. Even watch us on YouTube.
So tap in for our debut morning of Jamming with Juice on January 20th, 2025.
From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Wipe the crust out your eyes.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture. Dear employer,
My name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Dizer.
I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum, I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data, to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation
help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't. It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is a black trap man.
Welcome to hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I do want to get back to some political stuff. Am I supposed to be going on and on about Bob Uecker dying? Like, he was on Mr. Belvedere and he did some stuff with the Brewers. I'm not even like a baseball fan like that. And I know that Good Karma Brands is like, we're mostly a sports station. They're probably going crazy on some of the other stations like ESPN. Like, I'm not. They sending all sorts of emails about it. I didn't get no emails about it. Did Bob Uecker, was he like a host here or something? He was 90, for God's sake. Just saying. He had a podcast here. Oh, well, I didn't know nothing about that. Well, I don't do sports. That's the last thing that I think I'll talk about is I don't do sports. So Bob Uecker died at 90. And Jimmy Carter died at 100. So we'll fly the flags at half-staff, I guess. Well, they're already flying at half-staff because Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, ordered the flags to be flown at half-staff to honor and respect Donald Trump's inauguration. I always thought that you flew flags at half-staff because we're mourning as a nation. It's how you show respect and reverence due to sadness of like some major event. I didn't know that you put the flags at half-staff for inauguration because they was already at half-staff because of Jimmy Carter dying. So put them at half-staff. Put them at quarter-staff, I guess, because Trump's getting inaugurated and Bob Uecker died. I mean, I can't even say, oh, Bob Uecker was so young. He had so many years left to go. No, he did not. I know they're getting mad at me, but Ricky was in my ear. I got text message, Sherwin, Bob Uecker died. I had Denise Thomas in the studio with me for an hour and a half. That was where my attention was at. Shout out to Denise. Denise, you're welcome back anytime. I always like your perspectives. She's fantastic, is she not? All right, we should get back to business here, shouldn't we? Here are the confirmed attendees of Donald Trump's inauguration. President President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration day is on Monday, and he's planning and has planned who will attend the various events in Washington to mark his return to the White House. Trump has invited many other people, including Chinese President Xi Jinping. This is insane to me. Y'all know that China is an enemy of the state, right? The reason why Donald Trump wants to invite, he's not going to show up, Xi Jinping and the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, so who's also another authoritarian, Viktor Orban is. Donald Trump wants to show off and brag and gloat the pomp and circumstance honoring him as the 47th president, and he wants to do that in front of other world leaders. Donald Trump wants other world leaders and other authoritarians to see him, Donald Trump, get showered with praise and admiration, because that's what the inauguration is. It is a coronation of the peaceful transfer of power from one president to the next. Donald Trump is not inviting these people because he genuinely respects them. He might respect their authoritarianism, but he wants them to see him in that light where Donald Trump looks incredibly powerful. Because Inauguration Day is like your wedding day. Everything goes the way the bride wants on the wedding day. Inauguration Day is the same way. Donald Trump is going to have a bunch of uphill battles and a lot of fights, some with Republicans, most with Democrats. So before that happens, Donald Trump wants the whole world to witness his inauguration like it's his wedding day, because on your inauguration day, you can do no wrong. So that's the reason why Trump is inviting these other world leaders that quite honestly shouldn't even have access nor entry to the United States. President Biden announced last month that he would attend Trump's inauguration. He said, quote, "Of course he would attend," noting the only outgoing president not to attend the ceremony was Trump himself when he lost to Biden in 2020. Former First Lady Melania Trump also did not attend Joe Biden's inauguration in 2020. Former President Obama will attend, but his wife, Michelle Obama, will not. In a statement, the Obamas said the former president would be attending Trump's inauguration. Apparently, Michelle's excuse, I think we know why Michelle doesn't want to attend, because she probably is no fan of Donald Trump. She also probably didn't like how Barack and Trump were keying at Jimmy Carter's funeral. Did y'all see that? They were sitting next to each other at Jimmy Carter's funeral, and they were just giggling and laughing and chuckling amongst one another, which I think was seen as a huge disappointment by a lot of people that really love and admire Barack Obama. Like, oh, how could he share a jovial moment with Donald Trump? Because at the end of the day, both of those men, whether you like them or not, whether you love Trump, love Obama, hate Obama, they are members of one of the most unique fraternities on planet Earth. Even when Obama basically likened Trump to a Nazi, and Donald Trump said there were good people on both sides, and on one of those sides there was a bunch of neo-Nazis. And Trump, of course, heard that. Trump is made aware of all the negative and disparaging comments that former presidents may make about him. But here's the thing. When you're sitting next to somebody who also knows what that fraternity is like of being president, Trump was probably sitting next to Obama and probably said, "Barack, I know you had to say it. You had to say I was a Nazi. They told you to say it. I know you had to say it. I'm not a Nazi. Maybe a little bit, but I know I'm not mad at you." There were professional lip readers that viewed that video of Barack Obama and Donald Trump sitting next to each other. I've never been very good at lip reading. I can't do it very well. Some words I can make out when I'm reading the lips, but I'm not a very good lip reader. But there are people that do it professionally. In fact, NFL teams are known to hire professional lip readers. Don't believe me? Next time you watch an NFL game, you got some playoff games that are taking place this weekend, notice when they show coaches on the sidelines between plays, the coaches will take that placard, that list of plays that they have on the sheet of paper, on this laminated paper, and they'll cover their mouths. Because professional lip readers can decipher what plays NFL coaches are going to call if they don't cover their mouths. Back in the day, they didn't used to do that until, NFL teams want to find every single advantage that they can to try and get some kind of leverage over the team in which they're playing. So they started hiring lip readers because the coaches would sometimes say or yell out the plays. And if the opposite team has a lip reader, they could figure out and decipher what play the other coach was calling. So they cover up their mouths now. Notice that next time you watch an NFL game, the coaches will cover their mouths so you can't read their lips. But when the professional lip readers deciphered what that conversation was that Barack Obama was having with Donald Trump at Jimmy Carter's funeral, where those two men were sitting next to each other, Trump asked Obama if he could have his help or his assistance, or he has something that's very pressing that he needs either Obama's help with, or he wants to talk to Barack Obama about this thing. I'm extremely curious to know what that thing is. We probably will never know. Also, keeping in mind, former presidents also get national security briefings. So Barack Obama still has access to a lot of state-sponsored secrets of America. Why they still provide this information to ex-presidents, I don't know, but Barack Obama is privy to things that Donald Trump knows, and maybe Trump wants Obama's help in negotiating something with a foreign power. The statement did not provide an explanation for why Michelle Obama is not going to be at the inauguration. So something that I read recently, and I think this article I'm quoting from might be a little old, is that she is in Hawaii on, quote, an extended vacation. And why would she fly back from Hawaii, which is probably 6,000 or 7,000 miles from Washington, D.C., just to attend Donald Trump's inauguration, when I think we all know how Michelle Obama feels about Donald Trump? It's probably how a lot of you feel about Donald Trump. Former President Bush and former First Lady Laura Bush will be in attendance. Former President Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton will also be in attendance. Elon Musk, who has been tapped to lead Donald Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, will be in Washington to attend the inauguration. Musk donated millions to Trump's campaign and has become a close ally of the president-elect. There is concern about Musk's influence over Trump as the tech billionaire continues to engage politically with him ahead of the inauguration. Jeff Bezos, Amazon owner Jeff Bezos, will also be in attendance. Mark Zuckerberg, Meta CEO, will attend the inauguration, seated right next to Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. This is the oligarchy that Joe Biden warned us about in his farewell address last night. And I hope you guys watched it. It was short. It was only about 17 minutes long. And he did some gloating a little bit, not much, about the jobs that have been created, investments in infrastructure, etc. But the theme that should be taken away from Joe Biden's farewell address is warning us that this consolidation of the most powerful individuals on the planet working together and are now going to steer the federal government in their direction, not in ours. And this represents a departure from what America has always tried to be, a nation. And we've failed at it dramatically, but you also got to keep in mind, our democracy is the longest running form of democracy pretty much in human history, because they don't work, they fail. And ours is failing too. Now, the question is, how do we recover from it? And I cannot answer that, nor can anybody else, nor any other experts can't answer the question of how we recover from it, because we don't even know how bad it is going to get. But I know that having those individuals on stage, on the dais with Donald Trump as he is getting sworn in, represents a significant departure from what this nation has always stood for. Going back in previous centuries, whenever there were very wealthy and very powerful people, there have been ways in which we have attempted to check their influence. If big companies want to merge with other big companies, a lot of times judges will say, we're going to stop this merger because you will become too powerful. You will become a monopoly, and you will ultimately hurt American consumers. If there's price fixing going on, so price fixing would be, what are the major airlines? Delta is one of them. Frontier is one of them. What's an American, TWA? I don't even know what the airlines are, but whatever. Let's say all the airlines CEOs said, you know what? let's all raise our prices on all of our flights, on all of our different airlines to $5,000 per flight, no matter what. And none of the CEOs could deviate from raising. If you wanted to fly from Milwaukee to Chicago, $5,000. From New York to LA, $5,000. From Miami to Austin, Texas, $5,000. That's called price fixing, where all of the people in an industry all conspire to fix their prices so that they're going to all make the same amount of money, and you essentially eliminate competition. That is illegal, and that is why we have the courts and the federal bench to protect us against those things. But when you have these superpowers of wealth and influence all coming together and all going to be a part of the Trump administration, we can't even predict what is coming our way. I'll tell you this for sure. If your last name isn't Trump, isn't Musk, isn't Bezos or Zuckerberg, you probably aren't going to get anything. Because they don't have to give you anything. Because what are you going to do? No, seriously, what are you going to do? If you get nothing, what if prices don't go down? What if wages don't go up? What if inflation skyrockets? What honestly are you going to do? You're going to vote in 2 years? You can't do anything about it. We have surrendered the last bastion of hope to the worst kinds of people that we possibly could. I wish I had more optimistic news for you, but I do not. And I'm sure some of y'all didn't like Joe Biden because clearly a bunch of y'all didn't vote for him. But at least there was a level of stability and an understanding that our democracy, even if it's not working at its optimal level, is still supposed to side with the best wishes of the majority of the people. That is now gone because we are all in a situation where we're not going to do anything. And you might want to protest. And I don't know if you guys have been made privy to some of the things that Donald Trump wants to do to protesters. So even if Americans realize, and we will eventually, that we have been sold a bill of goods and want to do something, and you want to take your democracy back, and you want to take to the streets, and you might want to march down 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Donald Trump has inquired if the military can shoot you if you want to protest, if you just happen to get frustrated with what is likely going to happen when our democracy is controlled by the people that our democracy is supposed to check. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Is Kiana there?
This is she.
Kiana, look, you have won $5,000 from our Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. What was you doing?
I was actually taking a nap.
Hey, wake up. Money calling.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to help my daughter. She's in college.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Reproductive justice is a framework, it's a movement, it's a vision for reproductive freedom. It's a right to have a child. It's a right to not have children. And this next part is really as important as the other parts. It's the right to birth and parent our children with dignity, and the right to live and parent our children in safe and healthy environments. So reproductive justice understands the ability of any person to control their destiny is directly related to the conditions of their communities. It looks at the intersections of discrimination in social, political, and economic systems, and it sheds light on the barriers that these systems produce. And then we, reproductive justice advocates, fight against the barriers that prevent Black people and other people of color from exercising their rights. That's reproductive justice.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Where else on talk radio can you hear songs by Madonna? One of my favorite Madonna songs called Justify My Love. Here's something I can't justify. Donald Trump's immigrant story that he has done a very good job of keeping hidden. You would think that there'd be a lot of scrutiny on him and his own family and their immigrant story, but he is able to evade this level of responsibility. And you would think that people who are quick to scream, do your research. A little clarity on that. Anybody who screams at you and tells you to, quote unquote, do your research probably hasn't done theirs, or they think that research is actually just Googling something. Google is controlled by an algorithm. And an algorithm is based upon stuff you already know, thoughts and sentiments that you already have. I proved this over 10 years ago. I had a caller call into the show I was doing at the time, and I put together what I call a search string, just a series of words that lead you to some kind of result, like, I don't know, how is sausage made, or what's the best soil to use if you're planting petunias. It was something very random. And I typed in that search string, and then my caller that was on the line, I had them search the exact same string, the exact same words in the exact same order that I had. And they got completely different results. And that was baffling. And I'm glad that I did that experiment. If you don't believe me, go and do this experiment with one of your friends or one of your family members. Better yet, do it with someone who you know has opposite social, cultural, ethnic, racial, and political views than you. Think of something to search. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be fancy or complicated. Just think of something worthy of looking up, or maybe not worthy of looking up, literally anything. And someone else will type in those exact same words into Google, and they will get different results. So just Googling something is not, quote unquote, research. And I know that folks have not done their research on Donald Trump, because you should be flabbergasted by the information I'm about to share with you. It is Donald Trump's very own family immigration story. And why this was brought to my attention is one of our wonderful peanuts sent me a link this morning. And it was a link to Dr. Ken's show. I believe it was yesterday. Do y'all know I've been trolling Dr. Ken? I put some stuff in the Hughes Views Facebook group. I think I put it on Twitter too. Y'all ever seen the movie The Matrix? So there's a guy who is the nemesis of the main character. His name is Agent Smith. Agent Smith is basically a computer program that was designed to kill the main character, Neo, in The Matrix. Agent Smith is a white guy.
I've seen that meme you talking about. I'm like, kind of look like
Dr. Ken looks exactly like Agent Smith. Rick, did you see what I posted? They look just alike, don't they?
I did. It was kind of funny, yeah. It does look because of the glasses and the arm.
It wasn't kind of funny.
Posture.
It's very funny. So I've been trolling Dr. Ken. So Al calls Dr. Ken's show yesterday. You know what I should do? I do all sorts of stuff I'm not supposed to do. I want to play you guys. I actually, if you can do it faster than me, Zach, I probably can get Dr. Ken's show. Yeah, yesterday, right here. It's at 1:04. I got it right here. And so Al called Dr. Ken's show. And I knew I was in for a doozy of a call when it was Al that was calling Dr. Ken's show yesterday, right? And so Al brought up something that he didn't have, like, the facts. Listen, just for your own well-being, y'all, if you call Dr. Ken's show and you make a statement, especially about, you know, a politician or a Republican or Donald Trump, you gotta have your references and your facts and your article ready. Because Dr. Ken, where'd you get it from? Where's the reference? Where's Dr. Ken have a fit? You know how Dr. Ken is. So just a word of caution to all of you. If you are calling Dr. Ken's show and you make some kind of pronouncement, you have to have your facts. So let me share this with y'all. This was Al calling Dr. Ken's show. And I want to provide the clarity and the facts that Al was unable to provide when he called Dr. Ken's show yesterday. Take a listen at this.
From here? Like, why is that okay? Like, why do you have so much empathy and sympathy for people who are criminals who harm people? What is that?
What is that?
I don't understand that. 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, before I get to my top 5 at 5, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, what I'm trying to understand with Trump, he's kicking off all this chaos, and he got so many things against immigrants, yet his whole bloodline
It's
is
not
from
against immigrants. It's not against immigrants. It's against people who are here illegally that commit a crime.
But his mother, his father.
We ain't talking about his mother and his father. That ain't got nothing to do with it. We're not talking about people that came here illegally. I'm sorry. We're talking about people who came here illegally, not legally.
They came illegally too.
Prove it. I'm not taking up for Trump, but prove it. How did they come here illegally? What's your source?
Well, let me see.
Where'd you get it? No.
He ran from what?
Where's your source? Show me your source. Tell me your source.
Well, I have to get all that, but it should be an integrity issue. Just because you're white and you're dumb.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, don't face the facts. Be like everybody else.
How's it a fact when you can't prove it? I'm asking you to prove something you're saying. Oh.
Say what?
I said, okay.
Oh, you just want to take up for him because he's white. Dr. Ken.
First of all, don't insult me by saying something stupid. I just want to take up for him because he's white. Really? Goodbye.
Oh, there you go. Dr. Ken got hot. Well, I have the fact that Al did not have at the ready when he called Dr. Ken's show yesterday. Al said that Donald Trump's family came here illegally, and Dr. Ken wanted proof of that. Al didn't have it. So Dr. Ken, and quite honestly, rightfully so, right? Because y'all will call our shows and say all sorts of wild stuff. And if you cannot prove it, then we have to dismiss you, right? From history.com. On October 7th, 1885, Frederick Trump, a 16-year-old German barber, bought a one-way ticket for America, escaping 3 years of mandatory German military service. I need you to listen to this now. He had been a sickly child, unsuited for hard labor, and feared the effects of the draft. It was illegal, but America didn't care about this law breaking at the time. Germans were seen as highly desirable migrants, and Trump was welcomed with open arms. Less than 2 weeks later, he arrived in New York, where he would eventually make a small fortune. More than a century later, his grandson, Donald Trump, became the 45th president of Frederick's adopted home. Donald Trump's grandfather illegally migrated to America. That's number one. Number two, Donald Trump's grandfather was dodging the draft. That is why he illegally migrated to America. Trump dodged the draft too. Like granddaddy, like grandson. So there is illegal immigration in Donald Trump's family. So, Al, I provided the context that you did not have when you called my esteemed colleague, Dr. Ken, yesterday. Let's talk to Security Mike. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Sherwin? I caught that from work, that exchange between Dr. Ken and Al from work the other night. You know, he wouldn't even let my guy even finish what he was trying to say and what he was trying to prove. We all know that they came over here like that. But Dr. Ken, he jumped on the defensive right away, even all through the election when they were running. He would bag up that guy. He would never come out with the arrogance and say that's who he was voting for. But we all knew, you could read between the leaves, the tea leaves or whatever, that he was voting for that guy. He wasn't as arrogant as the other hosts to come right out and say, I'm voting for Trump. That's why a lot of people don't probably call that show anymore. I don't call the show. I still listen because I'm not letting them off the hook. Right now they're complaining about the detention center being built, the ICE detention center being built on this side of town. During the times when I was hooping and stuff, Sherwin, we was like this. Another player on the other team missing shots, we'll let him shoot. Oh, he with us. Well, no, now y'all with them Republicans. Y'all with them. They ain't got to give you no heads up on anything. You just made all these brothers and sisters vote for this guy, and now we're a red state. They're gonna do what they want to do now. They don't give you no heads up on nothing. And when you try to protest and all this other stuff, because it's coming down the pipe with the police brutality and all this and that. They're going to have immunity, whatever they do to us. It's going to continue, man. I remember telling you this, man. They're in trouble. Because look at who they're nominating to come into their cabinets and be a part of his program. This all, man, we're in trouble, man. We might be slaves again. It's crazy. But I still listen. I only listen to your show, but I listen to those guys' show. I don't call into their shows, though, because I want them to reap what they sow and what they did.
All right, Security Mike, I appreciate your call.
Hey, I'm going to keep you posted, man, because I'm about to get called for that habitat. I'll be in that class pretty soon.
Good.
And then I'm going to keep you posted on, like I said, the mortgage and how they're doing the thing and how long it might take before I pay the house, the property off and that. So I'll keep you posted.
Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Have a good day.
You're welcome.
All right. Security Mike. Security Mike said, I listen a little bit sometime, but I don't be calling they shows, though. I would encourage all of you, every now and again, listen to a show that you don't necessarily agree with. You might learn something or get a different perspective. I mean, I don't listen to shows that I don't agree with, but I'm saying some of you should, because it gives you a much more well-rounded perspective. It's too hard for me to listen to talk radio because I know how talk radio is made. So when I listen, I don't hear the same things that casual listeners hear. I hear like minute details and tonality and inflection, and I listen for certain types of, cadences and a whole bunch of stuff. And it's uncomfortable for me, quite honestly. What's even worse is it's hard for me to watch television anchors because they're just, you see this cognitive dissonance a lot of times. And I troll TV anchors. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I troll them because what are they going to do? Because they're fake. They're reading off of teleprompters. Like none of that stuff are any of their thoughts, their feelings, and their opinions. They literally just have to read stuff that has been written by other people. Their producers write the news. So when you watch your news in the morning, if you watch, your CBS 58, your WISN, your TMJ, those anchors are just reading stuff, okay? And here's the cognitive dissonance that they have, because you'll have someone that like fundamentally disagrees with what they're reading, and you can tell, because you can tell by the way that they're enunciating it, and like their cadence will change. Like if you have a black woman anchor giving people the news about a Donald Trump visit to Milwaukee, like you can tell how uneasy they get. And a lot of times not, because they got to be super politically correct and like ultra DEI with news anchors. Then you'll have a bunch of women that are hosting news shows. Shout out to the women. I'm not saying that women can't host news shows, but if you look, there's a disproportionate number of women, and a lot of times women of color, who are morning anchors and afternoon and evening anchors on news shows. And to hear them do like a sports segment, it's just so uncomfortable. And next up is the sports ball report. Wow, here's our sports ball person. The Packers did a thing, didn't they? They scored a ball score with the field goal and they kicked it. It's so funny. It's because you can tell that because then they'll get like a little bit of leeway where they can like ask whoever this coach is, whoever this expert is on whatever sport that they're talking about in that segment. And they're just like, oh, Coach Smith, tell me about how you did the thing where the score went up to 14 and it wasn't 9 anymore. And it's just so bad. Yeah, TV anchors that. In fact, a lot of TV anchors come over here because they can be more authentic. John Mercure, one of my friends and our colleague over at TMJ, he's with Good Karma Brands. Vince Vetrano, who was on TMJ for like 20 years, he's over here too. Julia Fellow, who was on TMJ for many years, she's over here on with Good Karma Brands as well. Jessica Ty, who was with CBS 58 for 1,700,000 years, she's over here too. Because when you come to radio, you can be real and you can be authentic, like me. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has inspired generations of change leaders, and many more are to come. Let's celebrate his legacy by enjoying incredible speeches by Milwaukee Public Schools students.
As a third grader, it is my job to show the younger students how to have a peaceful classroom. When we're on the playground or around the school and I see someone being mean, I ask them if they are okay. Because sometimes there's a reason why they're being mean. If someone hits you, don't hit back. Find out why and try to make them feel better. And we work together to make things right. When I am understanding and helpful, I can bring peace to my school. In my neighborhood, we work towards peace by greeting each other kindly. Because if you show kindness to others, they will show kindness to you. When you're out and about, say good morning and always use nice words too. Because if you bring peace, then others will follow. As important as kindness and peace are in how we treat others each day, Dr. King stood for much more. He once said, God has left enough in this world for all his children to have the basic necessities of life. God never intended for some of his children to live in inordinate, superfluous, and wealth, while others lived in abject, deadening poverty. He opposed violence in all its forms, racism, bigotry, poverty, and greed. We must work together to make a Dr. King's dream a reality, because together we can all achieve world peace.
Marcus Performing Arts Center and We Energies are proud to sponsor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest and pleased to share these extraordinary student speeches with you. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, get your tickets now for the first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th. We're going to be celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. Visit 1017thetruth.com to purchase your tickets today. Your ticket includes heavy appetizers, a drink, and a great time hanging out with our Truth family. You do not want to miss this opportunity to attend the best community awards event of the year. Get your tickets at 1017thetruth.com for the Truth Community Awards at Potawatomi. Friday, February 28th, we're going to begin at 5 p.m. And Truth Nation, the home of Milwaukee Black Talk, is raising the bar. Tap into The Truth on Monday, January 20th for the debut of our new shows. Get your drop of juice every morning on Jammin' with Juice with Carrie and Ben from 7 until 9. And then join Kyle Wallace for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. Do not miss these highly anticipated debuts on 1017 The Truth starting on Monday, January 20th. MLK Day is approaching, and we're excited to partner with the YMCA of Metro Milwaukee and the Marcus Performing Arts Center to celebrate the legacy of Dr. King. On Monday, January 20th, our team will kick off the MLK Day celebration with a broadcast of Jammin' with Juice from the YMCA 28th Annual Dr. MLK Breakfast from 7 until 9. And then from 1 until 6, both Tori Lowe and Dr. Ken will be broadcasting from the 41st Annual Martin Luther King celebration at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Come and celebrate the legacy of Dr. King with the award-winning 1017 The Truth all day long. All righty. On Monday, January 27th. That's right. I'll be bartending at the esteemed and very classy and sophisticated Blue Lounge high atop the Pfister Hotel on the 23rd floor for a charity bartending event where all of the tips that I collect while I am bartending from 5:30 until 7:30 at Blue will go to help Axe Housing further their mission of providing affordable homes for people in the city of Milwaukee. It's going to be Monday, January 27th at Blue. Ricky's going to be there too. Are you going to be there, Ricky? From 5:30 until 7:30. If you come in, Ricky, bring some money. What is, I don't know what that means. What is that? You better bring a pocket full of money. And the Pfister said they're going to donate 10% of all sales to Axe Housing to help them in their mission of affordable housing. So it is a competition. It is myself versus D. Kemp, who is the vice president of Axe Housing. We're going to see who can raise the most money. I got D beat. I'm going to beat her. We have a virtual tip jar. So if you can't make the event, that's cool. Go to axehousing.org/blue, axehousing, ACTS housing.org/BLU, and you get details about the event, and you can click on my virtual tip jar. In fact, let me see how much money I got in my virtual tip jar right now. Now, remember, the event is not until Monday, January 27th from 5:30 until 7:30. So I got to get there at 5 o'clock. They're going to train me how to be a damn bartender in 30 minutes. What could go wrong? I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Don't come up to me ordering no complicated drinks. Don't do that. That's not funny. Don't order some stuff that your boy ain't going to know how to make. Order a vodka and lemonade, because I'll make you real good, because I know how to make those.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
I don't care if it's a no for you or not, Rick.
I want a lemon drop.
Are you a man or are you a 22?
I want a lemon drop.
A 22-year-old girl.
Always right. I want a lemon drop.
Oh, so you're a 22-year-old girl celebrating her birthday with a birthday slash on, a sash.
Can you make my drink or no?
I'll make you lemon drop. Fine.
All right.
It's lemon and vodka.
No.
It is vodka and a damn lemon drop. It's lemon something, lemon-flavored girl drink and vodka. So you put a splash of lemon-flavored girl or whatever the hell that... Hold on, let me Google it. Okay, what's in a lemon drop?
Bartending, and I want it frozen.
No, that's not happening. Vodka, triple sec, lemon juice, and simple syrup. And wait a minute. A lemon, okay. Vodka, triple sec, lemon juice, and simple syrup. How about I just give you the vodka lemonade, and you can pretend it's a lemon drop. And by the way, tip me $100 when I bake that drink for you.
The only way you're getting a tip of $100 if it's really good, and you make it in a timely manner.
It's for charity, Rick, and all tips are tax deductible, so you can write it off on your taxes. So right now, my tip jar is so the goal of my tip jar is $500. I am now at $295. And I raised that $295 from only 6 people.
People like you that much?
Come on, Rick.
That's wild.
You already know what it is. You should see my inbox. I kind of want to tell you never mind. So I got $295. Thank you, donors. From only 6 people, though, they donated. Can I please get to $500? Can y'all just donate $5? Rick, go donate $5. I'll wait here until you don't donate $5. Rick, go. What about you, Glenn? Go to axhousing/blue, BLU, and click on my virtual tip jar, because all of the tips collected go to help further Axe Housing mission of providing affordable housing to members of our community. Why are y'all so ungrateful? I would do it for you. Zach, you too.
I got cash.
You got a bank account, don't you? You probably don't.
I didn't deposit my cash into the bank account yet.
You get paid. You just got paid here. What is that? I don't want cash. Actually,
He tipped you.
I'm spending this. Are you really giving me this?
Oh, he gave you a 20. What's in it for me? Baller. Oh, you messed up that tip.
Hold on, now wait. Come here.
You messed up that tip.
Enough time to put it in your pocket, and you didn't.
Come on, I wasn't ready for that. Give me that 20 back now.
Yeah, you asked for big ballers, and then you get the big ball and tip, and then
You wasn't
going
gonna
to
give me that 20. That's probably the only $20.
It was in your hand. It's on camera.
That's foul. Oh, look at all the money he got. Oh, Zach, don't forget, I got a picture of this man with several $100s in cash. I forgot Zach has money. I forgot all about that. I was kicking it with Zach one night, right? And then we was kicking it. And Zach was like, hey, Sherwin, I'll be right back. He disappeared for like 15 minutes. I didn't even know where he went. And he came back and he was wearing a hoodie. And you know how the hoodies have that front pocket sometimes? And so he has so much money in his front pocket of his hoodie. The front of the hoodie was just sagging. It was like down to his knees. And you know, they do this thing, you know, the young people do it when they get money and they get big stacks, like big bricks of money. They hold it up to their ear like they on the phone. He's like, oh, who this? I can't hear you. Money calling. He just had a brick of money in his, I don't even know where he went. He disappeared. He's like, Sherwin, I'll be back. And he just disappeared and came back with a brick of money.
A good story.
Don't even know where he went. Don't need to know where he went. He's like, yeah, I'll be back in a minute. I thought he went home. I didn't know where he went. I was like, oh, okay, Zach went home for the evening. Came back with a brick of money. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com. The Truth app is home for all the Milwaukee Panther content you would want.
He'll dart baseline, and he will tomahawk it home with his right hand.
From conversations on the airwaves.
We're going to defend every board up the floor and every bounce and every pass. And we've got good depth, and you have to have good depth for the way we play.
To game highlights.
At the top, rises for three over Young and buries it.
Find The Roar on the Truth app, Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts to keep up with Panthers hoops.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucks.com/tickets. That's Bucks.com/tickets.
Do you need CPR or first aid certification? A&E CPR has got you covered. With over 15 years in the health and wellness industry, A&E CPR is a trusted American Red Cross training provider right here in Milwaukee. Whether it's CPR, first aid, or AED training, A&E CPR classes give you the skills and confidence you need to respond to life-threatening emergencies. They offer online courses and in-person classes. You can even receive your certification the same day you complete the class. So visit ANECPR.com to get certified today. That's ANECPR.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tip me. Go to axhousing.org/blue. Tip my virtual tip line.
You know, if you was a stripper, you'd be a horrible one.
Good thing I'm not a stripper.
Because you just, at this point, begging. You sound like the strippers from Atlanta.
Yuck, stripping is out. It's just all OnlyFans now. Like, going to strip clubs is stupid.
No, the strip club in Atlanta is fire. Especially on Sundays.
Just hire a prostitute. Like, who? That's so stupid. Just to me, I've outgrown it. There was a period of time in my life where the strip club was fun, but like once you know like how terrible it is, how awful the industry is, and once you see like what exists behind the scenes, it's not fun anymore. I wish I was more naive to that industry, but I know too much about it. It ain't fun.
Nope, I totally agree, and I get it. And the thing that I've learned as an adult is a big difference between strip clubs and gentlemen's club. I did not know that in my 20s.
The only benefit, I guess, that I see in going to a strip club is, I mean, yeah, there's going to be some beautiful women there, whatever, but it's a good place to go for business, which may sound counterintuitive, but men oftentimes are disarmed at a strip club.
Yeah, their focus is not on the conversation.
And that can be a good thing, right? Because you can have a conversation at a strip club where a man is much more like honest and vulnerable and less, because strip clubs are not threatening environments. Any other bar you go to, you run the risk of getting shot or a fight started. Very rare at a strip club. Very, very rare, because men are they're disarmed. And they can kind of relax a little bit, you know, because if you're surrounded by really attractive women that are scantily clad, that puts most men at ease. So yeah, they're a great place to go for business. Thank you, LT. LT said he donated. We appreciate you very much, LT. And LT says that people recognize my show at the Mequon Public Market, which is great. Shout out to the people at the Mequon Public Market that listen to my show. Justin said Justin will be ordering his favorite, vodka and Kool-Aid. I ain't got no Kool-Aid, man. You better get some cranberry juice, or I'll mix you up a little cranberry, little splash of orange juice.
Kool-Aid and vodka?
Sure. Think about the different flavors of Kool-Aid. A little strawberry Kool-Aid, cherry Kool-Aid, grape Kool-Aid, and vodka. My favorite flavor is Purple Saurus Rex, which is just grape and lemonade. That'd be good, a little vodka. A lot of ice. Be delicious.
Y'all making stuff up at this point.
Everybody makes stuff up.
But that sounds nasty. Kool-Aid with sugar and then vodka?
What do you think people mix vodka with? Your lemon drop
It's
ain't that
already
much
sugar
different.
in it, so why add more to it?
Sugar and what? There's no sugar in vodka.
I thought it was.
No, it's... Good God, somebody else's child. Kelvin said, Wendy Williams just shared this morning on the Breakfast Club how she loved radio much more than television. She stated going on television was about the money. Is Wendy Williams, I thought she was dead. She's messed up. She's real messed up. Do y'all see that episode or that clip where she's doing her show and then she, like, her eyes get real big and then she passes out? I don't want to laugh, but Wendy Williams is a horrible person. Like, she's going to hell. Like the way, so when she did radio in New York for many years, she was the worst kind of celebrity gossip columnist, and I hate that stuff. That's why I hate the Breakfast Club. I think it dumbs down our culture. We are so starved of information that the black community is manipulated every single day. And so if you have the golden opportunity to provide information to a community that is literally dying because they keep useful information from us, I just can't respect you. I can't. And I'm just not into all the celebrity gossip because we don't need more of that. We need to learn how to, like, have money, how to save money, how to invest money. We need to learn about buying a house and having real estate. So anything that goes outside of that, and especially if you're wasting people's time on the air, I just don't have a lot of respect for it. But there was something that Wendy Williams did that I won't ever forgive her for. So Method Man, who was a part of one of the best hip-hop groups in the history of the genre, his wife got cancer many years ago. And they were keeping that information from her family. They weren't telling anybody this information. They didn't want the family to know yet. It was a private thing that Method Man and his wife were going to deal with because it's their business, okay? Well, some kind of way, the information got leaked to Wendy Williams. And she went on air and told how Method Man's wife had cancer. She broadcasted that on the air. And if you go and look up Method Man's response to Wendy Williams by sharing that personal, private health issue with her listeners, you will hate her too. So all the things that have happened to Wendy Williams is karma. When you have a platform like this, and it's hard sometimes, and a lot of times we're human as well. We lose our way, and we maybe say things that we shouldn't, but there are certain things you don't violate. People trust me a lot of times with their secrets. And then there's other times where people share secrets with me because they think I'm going to expose somebody else. I'll never do that. I know in my early years, you know what I got a lot of? I got a lot of disgruntled men who had been hurt by women, or they were mad that they had to pay child support. So they would literally fill my inbox with all the terrible things that their baby's mothers did, and they would expect me to blast their baby mamas on the radio. And I never did that because a principle I always subscribe to is that why would you talk negatively about your child's mother or father? Because you're the one that humped them. You humped the child you have is 50% the genetics of the person that you supposedly hate. So no, I don't talk negatively about you. And y'all just make yourselves look petty and foolish. Like Donald Trump is probably going to make all of us look once he's inaugurated on Monday. Have a great day. Jamming with Juice is up next.
Truth Nation, it's your girl, DT, and I am back. Join Dr. Ken Harris and I every Monday night for our weekly show, The Truth Unfiltered. We're going to break down the top news stories